What's up, everybody? Welcome to another MAG1 day. This is going to be our last group today, Group D, and I'm pretty excited for it. We got some very familiar names. We have Apucci and Arbiter, as of course I'm sure most people are rooting for them. They are sort of top dogs in 501. And then we have some 201 players. We have a good balance as usual. We got B-Man, and he goes by Tom, but I think most people will know him by his in-game name, and it's pretty hard to pronounce, but it's like Agrip Nokoma. I've played him before. Very good player. Yeah, everybody in here is pretty much a killer group. So yeah, pretty excited to see what's gonna go on. As far as like play styles, it's also a pretty sick group, I'd say. Um, I would say maybe even the 501ers are a bit more standard than the 201s today. I'll be curious to hear Rooster's opinion on that. He knows the players a little bit better than myself, but I do believe that all four players are capable of aggro, so it might depend patch to patch. But yeah, it's going to be really sweet. Arbiter has been taking a little bit of a break from Mecha because he's been extremely busy. Of course, with New Year and everything like that, some people have been a little bit busy throughout the new year, but he has been practicing the last couple days. Hopefully, he can get into a good shape here for today. We now have some highlight reels in the background for today, so that's a new production feature. That's going to be quite nice for some background entertainment. And that board indeed looks pretty crazy. I remember that game. That game was sweet. It was Assault Fortresses with Fang Summoning and Mustangs with Anti-Missile Interceptor to stop the Stormfire. It was a pretty sweet win there for Rooster, who unfortunately did not make it through, but he will be joining me for casting soon enough. Speaking of, there's the raid. Let's go. Yeah, today's going to be so excited. So exciting. Absolute killers today. And a lot of like people with a lot of viewers too. Like B-Man is a huge hit in Billy Billy. Apucci, of course, as well. Arbiter, it's great when he streams, so unfortunately does not stream enough. There's
Hello,
our.
hello.
What's up, Rooster? How was your stream?
Nothing much. It was good. Surprisingly awake, I have to say, after 14 hours. Very excited for these games. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Maybe it was the two Red Bulls, Yeah, we'll just call it even Stevens. But very much looking forward to these games. We've got such good players today. So I'm sure it'll be a good time, guaranteed.
Yeah, today's pretty crazy. I didn't know all the groups ahead of time, but like this today is also kind of a group of death, right? Like Apucci's known for being an absolute beast in tournaments. Arbiter, of course, has been like one of the best 501 players for a long time. And B-Man, of course, really, really strong. I actually don't know how B-Man has been performing lately. Have you been watching any B-Man?
Um, I have to say I haven't.
Okay.
I mean, he's known to do like a lot of testing, right? And known to play both standard and aggro. I know
Yeah.
end of last season he was mostly playing defensive games. Real big fan of things like acid on the crawlers. I remember he was
Yeah.
trying out a bunch of strats with that, with mixed results. But he's always an exciting player, trying out new things. I remember his like ultra wide setups for Phoenix.
hmm
Um, yeah, exciting
Favorite
stuff.
specialist is Sabretooth, and favorite unit is Sabretooth. Was that the same as Tungdill?
Yeah, I think
I feel
so.
like it was. And then bells and
Yeah.
whistles. So he likes flashy plays, I guess, or like getting lots of text. I mean, it's kind of up to interpretation on that one, but
Yeah, it's a little mysterious, I have to say, but maybe that's, he's kind of keeping us interested, and we'll have to see during the game what this bells and whistle thing might be all about.
for sure. No, Pucci, speed, and phoenixes. He has loved phoenixes for a very long time. He's the type of guy who's running like the carry stuff on phoenixes. Like he's been liking launcher overload on phoenixes for a long time. I've personally been a charge shot Andy. I just like using like the one tech and then I'm done. But
Yeah,
yeah, phoenixes are pretty
I'm right
strong,
there
that's for
with you.
sure. Yep.
I think he even runs both. I don't know if he still does it, but I think he's been running like both launcher overload and charge shot, which is
Yeah.
completely ridiculous, but it does hit like a truck.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's like elite marksman. He's the kind of guy who changes up his techs a lot too. Like you never know if he's running like elite marksman on his fortresses or what have you.
Yep. Well, 5 seconds. Four, three, two. Here are the
Pog,
packs.
pog, pog.
Anything to your liking?
Uh, elite? No, there's no chaff, JK. Supply is always safe, you know.
Ooh,
Round
Spider
4
Farseer.
Farseer. Spider got buffed. We should talk about the patches in between, but spiders have 5 more range now, and like anytime a range change happens to the game, it's pretty massive. Like remember when Fangs lost some range?
Yep. I mean, a double buff, right? They also reverted
Yeah.
the nerf on the range enhancement, so it's much easier now to get to that point of range. They did lose a little bit of damage for it though, so now they're sitting at 550, where previously it was 580, and this has introduced a new breakpoint on level 2 crawlers, which can now no longer be one-shot. So, you know, hey,
Ooh.
Elite buff has been, Elite spec has been stealth buffed,
Yeah, that's
is
true.
the storyline I'm going for.
It's true, and they were already good, right?
I would say yes. I'd
Yes,
say
thank you,
yes.
thank you. This is why we get along so well as casters, you know?
It's just that. It's just the elite spec.
Yeah, so we got some pretty big economic SPCs here. We have supply for B-Man, and we got the Farseer for Apuchi. So if these games go long, both players are in a good position for that.
Yeah, and we get some ace and aggro here out of Apuchi. I think it's a good thing for him to keep the spiders together because, well, Saber loves hitting tarantulas early on, and trying to
Yeah,
overwhelm one side of the board here should be a key to victory. You only have to deal with the one Saber at a time, so with the marksman here and the crawlers, hopefully you'll be able to overwhelm that side of the board.
yeah. That's the trick against any high HP opener. Is like it's really hard to get DPS in the first round, so you got to put all your units together to have any hope of taking down like tarantulas or saber teeth.
Yep.
He
Well,
should have enough
crawlers are
here.
getting in.
I think
Yeah,
he's gonna have the
Arclights.
round.
Yeah, he is hitting very well, this Arclight, but Saber will end up going down.
Yep.
Yeah, right Saber, the way Beeman has positioned means that the Saber will not really get involved in the fight until very late. And because the units are so slow, like the Sabers and the Fangs, he doesn't really have a big threat on the Poochie's tower.
Yeah, it's funny how this tower dynamic's playing out. The marksman may get the. Oh no, the saber's gonna get
Oh,
the
the
tower.
Saber. Eye on the prize there. We'll at least take out one, maybe the second
Wow, it
Tarantula as
leveled.
well. Whew, that's a really good round considering
Yeah,
how it went at the start.
for sure. Will we see any equipment here? Quick snap of Subside Stormcaller, and I guess there's advanced missile spec. I don't think Elite Hacker will be taken this early. Ooh,
No, it's kind
storms
of
for both players.
expensive. I'm a little surprised with the storms, I guess, but it does
I
look
don't know.
somewhat good. It's good
I,
against Tarantula, but I mean against the crawlers? Hmm.
yeah, I'll be honest. I don't
Whoa.
like storms on defense, but some players make it look good. And yeah, the bubble's what you're woeing about.
Yeah, the early bubble here is kind of surprising to me.
I agree. I wonder what the idea behind it is, because it's bad if Apuchi goes Stormcallers, which he does.
Yeah, but I guess it's really good if he doesn't.
Yeah,
Like, you could see a line of, like, another spider plus chaff, and then I think this never dies.
yeah,
Oh,
very interesting.
Stormcaller's hitting real well, though. Instantly killing a Tarantula there.
Yeah, great tempo here. The bubble being taken is already a victory, though, so I think Apuchi's happy with this.
Yeah, but you shouldn't mind losing. You got the 100 credits,
Oh, the
and
Arclight didn't level, I think. No Arclight levels.
just going to
Yeah,
be all about kind of reducing the damage taken, which the Stormcallers are doing a decent job at.
yep. Decent amount of damage, though. Not super high HP here, but yeah, it should be alright overall. Once he gets his Farseer, I mean, he's going to be pretty feeling good, I think.
Yeah, he'll have to wait another round for that, though. Yet another change from the patch.
Normally, I'd say Sledgehammer is really good for B-Man here, just for like more defensive structure. But Mustang is like level 3. Like that's a nice level for a Mustang.
It's so good. And I mean, if you look at the enemy board, just Fangs for Chaff, I don't think you have to think twice. I mean, already
Yeah,
level 3 Mustang, you don't have to think too much
yeah,
usually, but into this type of board, you can't say no.
for sure. I'm not sure if it favors anybody a lot. I think it's kind of good for both players here. I don't think we'll see
It
more
should
storms for
be better
now,
for Pooch.
just because of the fangs. You think?
Yeah, but also if there is investment into Tarantula, I think Tarantula is one of the better counters into Mustang. Like if
Oh
it
yeah,
gets some
yeah.
levels under their belt, like they do really well into them.
It's a good call. I'm not sure if he will keep the tarantulas though. I think he's in a position to sell out of them at some point.
Yeah, uh, I agree with you there. It looks like maybe just some type of Stang board, perhaps getting some forts from the second drop.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny thing, but Mustangs are one of the best Mustang counters, which really is unhealthy in some ways.
I mean, yeah, that's what you get, right? Jack of all trades type of unit. So when it
Yeah.
gets levels, when it gets items, it can get out of control like no other.
Yeah, we all have range for Rapucci on it, but not for B-Man. And Mustang with range is like really powerful tempo, so we'll see. Should be safe.
It does have that range advantage.
Oh, the Mustangs for B-Man getting splashed by the storms. That's not looking good.
Some really good salvos. Crawlers on the right getting in, but the Tarantula's managing to stay alive. That Saber right in front of them, not having too good of a time so far. How much can the
Yeah.
Mustangs do?
Yeah, it's a close battle. The Mustangs are going to be open for salvos from the Stormcallers here. They should take down the Sabertooth at the very least.
That's some good experience. They will level, I think. Yeah, they
Yep.
do. Just barely.
Yeah, it's pretty big. And the Farseer will come down. I wonder if he'll attack the right side or... Oh, we got a draw.
Ooh. I mean, draw is
Oh,
really good for Pooch. Haste module.
I didn't even see the other cards.
I don't think the players did either, to be honest.
Yeah, if you have a Mustang, yeah, it's so good. Fortify for Apucci on the right tower. I do like that. More Mustangs coming out for B-Man. Takes the range on the Mustangs. Very important, of course. Looks like the Farseer is going to stick with the main army. And now the oil comes down for B-Man.
Hmm. Poochie here, okay, we'll go for more Mustang. I was kind of expecting it. Oil will be a problem, though. For
That's a
sure here.
juicy oil. It's like a greedy
Yeah.
oil, too. But it
Yeah,
makes
it
sense, right?
slows down so much. Yeah, I think you can't really justify shielding here for Pooch because you're up against the Stormcallers, so
Yep. But
if
the
you don't know
alternative
the
is
oil is
leak.
coming, then
Do you think maybe
yeah.
oil shouldn't be on tower then, or?
Well, let's not get into that discussion, sir. I see what you're doing. You're not gonna get me with that one.
Almost baited you.
This is not that type of event. We'll have to wait for the town hall.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think this oil is going to be really deadly. It wouldn't matter too much if this was a long range battle, which it kind of is. Like, most of the units are long range for Apucci, aside from the tarantulas. But even slowing the
Yep.
chaff is pretty valuable.
And more importantly, also, like the clumping of units here is something
Exactly.
these Stormcallers absolutely love.
Yeah, leveling the Stormcallers as well, taking full benefit of that.
They hit real hard, and one Spider already has experienced the result of that.
Ooh, the tower, though. Getting tickled, getting tickled.
Oh,
Yep.
that level 4 Mustangs with the haste module, getting things done.
Kind of
That's a pretty
convincing win there.
surprising round. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
was a little
Farseer being
worried.
alive, that's 300 extra damage. Like, those things, you
Yeah,
don't expect them to deal so much damage, but they pack a real punch at the end of the round.
for sure. Some good levels here. He doesn't want the marksman levels, which I think is a fair play.
I
Look at the
think they're just
difference there.
happy with the Mustangs.
We got advanced targeting
Oh,
system for Apucci and nano
that
kit for
is
B-Man.
greedy.
Yeah, but it's so good because this is actually like a long range battle, sort of. I mean, his Stormcallers are pretty far forward, so not quite taking full advantage of the range battle. But if he
Yeah,
just sells Tarantulas and like backs things up, starts buying bubbles, I think the 10 range can feel pretty good. What do you think
nice
of this
beacon
nano?
here.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's an interesting play. So I guess B-Man is trying to get out of the mirror somewhat, and now wanting to play Vulcan into the Mustangs. It should get real good value here with the oil being set on fire. But
Yeah.
Apucci seems to read it. Well, at least he knows, you don't want to run through that. Nice
Yeah, it's
beacon
actually
coming out.
nice. Really nice play. He can probably make pretty good use of it throughout the game just because the position is kind of nuanced. Like there's a lot going on. There's an open tower on the right, and like further spells may appear like ion beam and stuff. So I like picking up this mobile beacon here.
And another tarantula has been purchased in the shallow
Slice.
flank. Crawlers were already there, but that's
I think that's
somewhat
shocking.
surprising. Yeah,
Yeah, because
did not
like
expect more tarantulas to show up.
yeah, because you don't want to commit into a unit unless you're getting decent levels on them. And they look good on the current board, which they don't look that good on the board. I've been mentioning how I think this is sort of turning into a long range battle, and tarantulas don't really fit that role too much.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it would have been fine if he wanted to invest into them more, but at this stage, into those level 3 stangs, it'll take quite a lot for them to start winning those trades. So,
Yeah,
I think I would have maybe preferred some type of Fort Mustang line or even factory, maybe.
right. The Vulcan leveled with the Nano. That's huge. I think this is a
Oh,
really big round for B-Man. He did buy a shield that got popped, but still, I think he's really happy with that.
that's gonna be tough to kill. Big Rhino there shows up. That could be
Yeah,
used for a turn.
100%. We know Apucci loves rhinos. That's like his second favorite unit, I feel. Yeah.
It does go for it. The rest of the units don't really seem that playable into this board of Stangs.
hmm Mobile Beacon's going to be helpful, of course. With the Rhino he just picked up, commits to the armor. It is only 200. He's got Farseer levels. He has Tarantula levels, and at some point he's probably going to tech them. He also has Stormcaller levels if he wants additional DPS, which is going to be helpful against the Vulcans and even the Mustangs that are accruing some decent HP pool.
And I'm kind of wondering... I mean, he should get a really nice amount of tempo here, but... Kind of wondering what the late game plan is, but I guess he's just gonna wait it out and see what the response will be into the Rhino.
Yeah, I think it's okay to sell the Rhino if like a Melter comes out, but he could also like beacon it to the other tower. It'll be really powerful here though, I think.
Phantoms.
Yeah, the
Phantoms
Phantoms.
is... I don't know about that one. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
with armor, but...
yeah, but he doesn't commit, right? We see a way bigger commit from Apucci. He knows that armor's good and he just takes it. Whereas
Yeah.
B-Man looks like he's waiting a turn.
Also being kind of apprehensive on the right side. Like, he wants to cheese the tower, but he's not willing to commit them far forward,
Yeah,
so they start
yeah.
hitting the tower earlier.
That's really true. Like
Well,
every second matters.
Rhino lock here is absolutely fantastic. Incendiary Bomb did get picked up as a second level, but that Rhino is taking 0 damage from the looks of it.
Chop chop.
Yeah,
Really good
that's
DPS.
enjoy your level 2 Nano Vulcan. Really good round here for Pooch.
Yeah, it's looking good. Mustangs are alive. The Storms are all alive. He's got AMDs living. Only
Wait,
one
how much
bubble was
damage is
popped.
this?
At
This
least
is
2,000, I would say.
close to lethal, no?
Oh
Oh
my.
my. Well, that's how. Oh my days. Yeah, I was talking about this Farseer.
Yeah, that thing is a killer. Like that's why you got to
Minus
put it in your main
13,
army.
the 300 damage there. It's so crazy. Like, you don't expect that unit to deal so much, but it starts chipping down, and yeah, really nice game from Apucci there. And that's he'll be very happy with that. Winning this first best of one means that you only have to win one more best of one, or
Yeah,
at worst, one best of three. And you don't have to go down into that losers bracket. So
yeah, that's true.
yeah, fantastic first game here. 6 rounds,
Yep,
and
really cool
the Rhino
stuff.
takes it home.
Yeah, the Rhino is definitely a big part of that, but I liked a lot of his small decisions too. Like he took subsidized Stormcaller and actually built 4 of them, whereas B-Man just took the two, so Pucci actually profited. The advanced targeting system pickup was pretty cool as well. I think it was valuable. Maybe didn't need it, but gave him some longevity.
Yeah, just a really solid game.
So up next we got Forgotten Arbiter against Tom, aka Agrip no Coma. I've received some background information on Agrip no Coma. So there was a tournament organized by B-Man called the KOF tournament, and they used HP like cumulatively, like through games, and basically He had 4,000 HP in his health pool, and he took down 4 players. So that's pretty impressive. I don't know much other than that, but
Wow.
it's pretty
I
cool.
think I tried to spectate a tournament like that. Um, this is a while ago, though. I want to say more than a year ago, but maybe they did it more often.
Yeah, pretty interesting for sure. It's nice to know that they have like their own interesting tournaments going on there as well.
Mm. And I actually played the Grip Coma today, and they were playing some aggro. I ended up losing that game. Um, so very strong player. It'll be interesting to see what both players go for here because Arbiter is known to be well, probably an aggro player at heart, but in competitive scenarios, we have seen him default back to a more defensive position often. So, but he is capable of playing both packs, and interesting to see what he's going to be opting for.
Yeah, for sure. Reading their player cards here, we can see Arbiter with a 2400 MMR, which is crazy. His battle focus is build the strongest units. That works pretty good in a lot of different video games, so congrats to him for figuring that out. He likes Typhoon and Typhoon Specialist, so a little bit of it's like the saber tooth guy who likes sabers, consistent. And you said that Agrippnocoma is played aggro today, but he's a standard Andy, apparently.
Now that is surprising.
Yeah,
Maybe
because
that
I've
makes
seen
me
him
feel
aggro.
even worse. I don't know what that is. Because he did aggro me today, but
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's
we
capable for
might see
sure.
him play defensive then. Might also be a thing where like there's a difference, of course, between how people approach ladder games and competitive games.
Yeah. And Raiden's his favorite unit. I mean, that thing got nerfed pretty hard. I've actually had games though where like both players are forced to go Raiden. Like usually how it happens is like people open up with like sledges and arc lights, and then like a really early unit drop comes out. Nobody's committed to a strategy yet, and like Raiden is just like the no-brainer pick. And I frigging hate those games. I mean, you don't like mirrors
It's
either. I know this about you.
no, I know. If I can avoid a mirror, I will. Um, but Raiden is still a scary unit, I think, late game. It's got like that
Yeah.
unique targeting that just allows it to sometimes snipe backline units, and it can take over games in the right situation.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you agree with me on this, but like I think it's another thing that counters Phoenix pretty hard, sort of like Fortress Anti-Air.
Yep. It's quite common for you to play Phoenix into Raiden, and then the Raiden just happens to like shoot at one of them or two of them because there's no three or like no other three targets to shoot at within range.
Yeah. Yeah, so I sort of prefer like the Mustang, like maybe marksman with anti-air approach. Like you can definitely try Phoenix. It's just like you have to be very careful about it, and like snowballing can definitely matter.
Agreed. For me, it has been Mustang for the most part into it, and then sometimes like marksman. But
Yeah.
yeah, Mustang seemed to be the best into it.
Mhm. So how are you feeling about the patch in general?
Um, I think some good quality of life changes. Overall, I don't think the meta has changed that much. Um, Arc lights are still the best chaff clear overall, and saber packs. I mean, I just keep seeing them again and again and again. So I think that
Yeah.
part has remained the same. But I really have liked the changes. I think it's nice that there's only one oil in the game.
Yeah,
I think that
finally.
I have felt,
Yeah.
and yeah, just happy that they have made some of these changes. Like the pack changes are fantastic.
Yeah, 100%. I think while the meta hasn't changed a lot yet, I think there's potential for it to change. Like people are always innovating, and like some of the changes were pretty big, like Tarantula, for example. But anyways, we are loading into this game. I'll be curious what the players pick. They may go for some of the more interesting SBCs here. Elite has
Now,
no chaff
sabers
again,
are
though.
available. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
it'll be elite. I Arbiter is a certified elite spectator. That much I do know. So,
true. Yeah, it's just off the table there. Maybe Farseer or Saber for him.
wow, Grip Coma there taking a very low hit point starter.
Standard
It will be
Andy.
sabers for Arbiter.
So will he aggro? Because most people think that Saber is better on aggro, although it can be used in standard.
Yeah, this does look like it's going to be some type of asymmetrical push.
Yeah, looks like it. And these players do not have big health totals either. The supply SBC might not get time to scale with its power here. We'll have to see.
Yeah, this might end very quickly if either player manages to gain some tempo.
Yeah, I guess storms are pretty good at like reducing HP damage, especially if you spread them out more. He's actually going for center storms here, which I'm not sure how I feel about that into sabers specifically.
I think center storm makes more sense because if you put them on the outside and then your opponent pushes asymmetrically, usually you're fine on the first round, but then on round two you have like zero pressure on the enemy tower, so like one stormcaller is just out of the game.
Yeah, yeah, it's fair. Definitely a preference thing, which is something I find interesting that everybody has different preferences. Looks like Arbiter's just going to pair up his arc lights right next to his sabers, maybe a little bit of a gap. You can see there's a gap on one of the arc lights, but not on the other for some reason. I like to leave a little bit of a gap when I'm against storms, just like a 10-meter gap, just for splash reasons.
Mm.
Yeah, he's still doing some last second adjustments here. Um, yeah, just sort of spreading out his crawlers into 3 layers here, using all the time, wants to get it just right. Of course, the first round is very, very important. You don't know where the storms are going to be, so
Well, here we go. Stormcallers on the middle will insta-lock on one of those sabers that is also in the middle.
yeah, it's painful. It's going to go down pretty fast. I mean, this is a good matchup for a Grip Nakoma, I think.
It's like 50-50. I mean, Stormcallers, I think, don't have that bad of matchups in general. I think Steel Ball, like some fast pack can be a bit annoying, but overall, they do tend to do quite well.
Yeah, do you think
But
Fangs
yeah,
would do better there than the Crawlers, or do you think Crawlers are better for Arbiter?
um, I think either is fine. Round one is just a little bit rough,
Yeah.
with the positioning that he went for here. But you don't really want to, like, because the line moves forward, you usually don't really want to put something up front.
Hmm.
So utilize all of the space. So yeah, I think round one here you just kind of accept the loss, and then now you can really start setting up the board as you wish.
Yeah. All the players didn't want any of those cards, and a Grip Nakoma unlocked Phoenix. Phoenix looks
Yeah.
very, very good against Arbiter here. Arbiter unlocks Fangs, so he's got potential to win the round. He may need more chaff clear before he's capable, because he was just overwhelmed by crawlers in that last battle. Although he does cover his Sabretooth now with the Fang, so it won't get instantly targeted by the Stormcaller. And a shallow flank of the Arclight. It's not going to kill much chaff. I think it's just like preparing for the corner crawler that at some point usually appears.
Yeah, and it creates this, or it kind of extends the front line with this corner saber.
Yep,
They basically, those two are still working together, and that's the nice thing about the shallow flanks.
for sure. We'll have to see if Arbiter takes 200 damage or more, because I think a Grip Nakoma is just going to win this round 100% of the
Those,
time.
oh yeah, those phoenixes are not dying.
Yeah, so we'll see how much mitigation occurs. Another thing to look out for is just levels here. The sabers for Arbiter have like almost no experience. The Arclights as well, so they have a lot of work cut out for them. And actually, the shallow flank pulls way more than I thought. What the heck? I thought the crawler was like positioned in a way to avoid that, but
Yeah, that is kind of surprising.
yeah. Well, it's looking better for sure. That pull was great.
Well, looks like it might be only the 200. It'll guess. Yeah, the debuff
Nah,
here will come through.
yeah, it's taking more, I think.
No, yeah, we have some crawlers going for Arbiter's Towers.
Yep, crawlers
So yeah, this
everywhere.
is looking more so like 600.
Yeah, decent chip damage. He is desperately needing to come back and get some tempo now. Gonna buy some
Round
anti-air, I'm
3.
sure.
We'll have to wait for the free units at least one more round, but they are guaranteed
Yeah.
next turn.
Yeah, you may dilly-dally and wait. We'll have to see. Oh,
Ooh,
mass-produced forts. He's got the money for it with
yeah.
supply SBC.
That card, that card is not balanced.
Yeah, people have really learned how good going wide with forts are, like utilizing techs such as like barrier and fang summoning. It's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. Some players even do fists like Suri, but not quite as popular.
Also, I see Ipuchi pointed something out, but that is a very wide crawler pack behind the tower there.
Yeah, I saw it and just didn't laugh at Poochie, but yeah, that is funny.
Oh,
I've never
what?
seen anybody do that. Have you seen anybody
Yeah,
do
no,
that?
I haven't. I'm curious as to like what the idea is.
I think he just I don't know. I guess he just wants to like cover the flank with them. It's kind of weird though.
But yeah, this fortress strategy, you basically just like build forts and then you click Fang spawn and you click Fang shield and you just win at some
Yeah.
point. Um, for anybody who's skeptical, go and watch Zillalag in the EU tourney from today. He played 6 rounds of nothing but Fort Fang, and he won. So
Yeah,
it's legit.
it's legit and it's not too hard to pilot once it gets going. It can be hard to set it up, but yeah, and he doesn't run barrier by the way as the technology on Fortress. Kind of
Yeah,
shocking,
wow,
but I don't think he'll
that
need
is
it here.
very greedy. The
Yeah,
double
for
shot
sure.
thing is something we have seen more of. The winner of the Asia tournament today, Flower Fairy, who we saw last weekend, actually does run double shot as well, and
Yeah,
played it
some people
into
like it.
Sabers today.
Yeah. I mean, it's good DPS per cost, but the thing is there's so many good competing techs on Fortress, right?
Yeah, you're kind of spoiled for choice.
Yep. Well, how much damage is this? Oh, a minus 50 there.
Yeah, Phoenix is running away with it again.
It's like 900
Anti-air
damage.
for Arbiter there, just
Dang.
not getting it done.
Well, can the units help him?
Well, I say
Scorpion, he
not
loves
getting
them.
it done, but that was kind of surprising. Arbiter willing to forfeit last round, and like all he did was add
Yeah.
one more Fang.
Yeah, for sure. Very scary for him now, especially against a giant board, right? Giants deal so much damage. I think he's going to take the Scorpion. He loves Scorpion.
Yeah,
Agrippina
I mean, I'm not
Coma.
convinced how good it. Maybe is there a world where you Fire Badger into like Melter?
Could be, yeah. I love what Agrippina Coma is doing, by the way. Just
I mean, he
flanking, being
senses
annoying.
that there's multiple problems here for Arbiter to deal with. He doesn't
Exactly.
really have solid anti-air, but there's not many anti-air options that will deal with forts as well.
Yep. There's the Scorpions. I think he needs to instantly tech them and possibly buy more. Now, how good are Scorpions against paper forts? Because these are mass produced. They have 30k HP. Scorpions do 10k, so sort of good breakpoints here, actually. But this debuff is going to be
Yeah,
terrible, right?
I mean, 450 left. Range has been picked up. Goes for the Mustangs, but won't have money to range them. I'm not sure those will come out ahead against the Phantoms, but we'll have to see.
Yeah,
A Phantom has been sold. Also a Saber on the board for Arbiter, so he's really trying to get out of the Sabers here.
yeah,
Ooh. Last minute Mustang on the flank.
yeah. This is a really
That is
fascinating
really
turn of
good.
events. Like, we're attacking the right side with both Scorpions. That is not what I would have thought about doing. It does make a lot of sense, though. I think he sort of realized it's just too hard to win the left, so I need to take advantage of my range and take advantage of possible debuffs and create a new avenue of attack. And let's not forget, he has redeploy spell available to move things around as well. And oil on the tower.
Yeah, not that bad of a debuff, but the Scorpion's too slow to make use of it, so these forts will still be on full health, and we'll have to see how these Scorpions will
Yeah, we'll
perform.
see. Not looking great, though.
One
Phoenixes
of
are
them does
so
go
annoying.
down, and yeah. I mean, that's another big round. These fortresses do deal just full damage, 350 a pop.
Yeah. Did we get
That'll drop
Scorp
him below 1k.
levels? No Scorp levels. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Incendiary Bomb. Yeah, the scary thing here is something like Fang Spawn, but that's why he went for the Mustangs, I imagine.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I
Doesn't
guess
have
you
to
could
worry about barrier.
Amphor. Nah, fire's too good. He's just gonna
Yeah, like,
greedy.
there's no barrier, so maybe you just risk it and hope that Agrippina Coma doesn't buy the shield
Yeah.
device.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, you got to go for a greedy play here. Most players would do a shield, I think, but there are sabers staring directly at the potential shield, so possibly just a solid play here. Fortress range picked up. That's going to help them 1v1 the Scorpions in case they pick up like double shot and temp range.
I like that. I like that he's not like focusing on the Fang production, which would usually be your go-to, and
Yep,
just going for the range to try and close things out.
for
Fire
sure.
here looks like it will land, so that means anti-air will be gone with these Mustangs.
Yeah, no range on them. He has redeploy left. He has sell left. Like things can
Oh
happen.
no. Oh no, the Mustang has been redeployed into the fire zone.
In a Raiden, what the
Raiden.
heck? I mean, I did talk
Okay.
about how they're good against air,
Yeah, I
but
don't hate it.
yeah,
The
very
only
interesting.
issue is like you can just like spam Fortress and Fortress AA and it will kill Raidens.
That's true. They are mass produced, so it's easy to do so, and he does run the tech. We'll see. He has to survive here. He doesn't have much
Oh,
HP.
oh, the fire just instantly deleting those Mustangs.
Yeah, Scorps are falling as well. Just one left now. Will it shoot at the fort?
It
Yes.
will, but how much more shots can it take? Both fortresses locked on. That will just go, and I mean that's four fortresses alive.
Yeah, it looks like it's over.
That is simply going to be game, and that's 5 rounds.
Hmm. Yeah, it was a tricky
Woof.
game. Just tempo. It was like a tempo game for the most part. I mean, obviously, Agricola scaled well as well. Like he set himself up for a really strong late game here, but he also tempoed really well in the early portion too. So just Arbiter just kind of getting crushed there.
Yeah, we get a real turnaround between the first game there from 501 with the Poochie closing in 6, and now Agripno Coma from 201 closing it out in 5.
Yeah.
Very quick games. You did mention it. Low hit point starters. And yeah, sometimes the problems just stack up too much. And that's how the cookie crumbles. The sad bit here for Arbiter is that this was just the best of one. So he will now have to battle through that lower bracket with the two best of threes. Um,
Yep.
First opponent there will be B-Man. But before we head over there, we'll get the winner's best of one with Agripno Coma versus Apucci. And one of them will have a very easy Saturday evening. Or I guess if you're
Yeah.
201, it's already Sunday morning. And just straight go through and join all of the rest of the winners from the previous groups.
Yeah, you really want to just go out 2-0. It's like the absolute best way to play this format. I mean, obviously, but like it just like mentally, it's just amazing. You get to spectate the entire event too, just chilling.
Yeah, you can just, grab the popcorn, like get a tea, whatever your favorite drink is. Like, hell, it's the weekend, grab yourself a soda if you want to. And yeah, just chill. You can be a Twitch chatter and just like
Yeah, grab a
laugh at
Red Bull, right? Like you
it.
did.
Well, maybe not anymore now. Like, I took the last one 7 hours, 8 hours ago, so
Hey, look, you're on
be
TV,
responsible.
Rooster. We got the highlight reel.
Wait, what is that?
You got the
Oh, hey,
mass-produced
it's
fortress.
it's one of my few good games from last week. Oh, you shouldn't have MAG1. I ended up losing that best of three, but
Yeah, that game was exciting though. I loved how you did the Mustang missile interception technology, preempting the fire of the storms. It was great. So Apucci is looking good today. Of course, everybody at this point knows he's a good tournament player. I mean, he got far in the first season as well, right? Like it could have been his tournament perhaps, but he got bested by Sako in a 2-1. So will he be able to take down a Coma and go out first? I think there is good potential. They could also run into a long range battle since both players do like that playstyle.
yeah, I really don't know necessarily what to expect here because I mean I haven't seen much of a Coma recently, and definitely haven't seen much play between these players. I'm not sure that they have faced one another on ladder that much. So yeah, those type of games are always exciting when neither of the pros really knows perhaps what to expect.
Yeah, for sure. It's also funny that Arbiter is the one who bought Raiden when Coma's favorite unit was the Raiden, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Raiden choice. It felt pretty, I don't know, desperate, I guess. Like,
I mean, yeah, I think it's just the tough bit there is the fire is coming, so you have to somehow like get some anti-air to not just lose by default to the Raidens, the Phantoms, excuse me. Um,
yeah. Yeah,
So
fire showing
yeah,
up was not great for him, I suppose. So kind of a tough position there. Arbiter was worried about armor on the Phantom Rays, he says in chat. It does make sense. And yeah, you were in a really rough position, so I do understand trying it. I mean, air sometimes is the way to go when you're getting screwed on the ground, right? You just sort of try like a boat carry or a raiden carry. Sometimes you can sneak out a win you don't quite deserve.
yep, you just throw the Hail Mary and if it pays out, you get a second lease on life in a game. And if it doesn't, then well, you probably just had, to pick the best of the bad options, I guess you could say.
Yeah, for sure. It also felt like he was like pretty unlucky with the timing of the unit reinforcements as well. Like round 4 was when the units came and he was like trying to stall out, he was getting tempoed out, like the storms were pretty nasty against the sabers there. So, kind of a rough position there, but he's not out of it yet. He can still win 2 best of 3s to come back.
Packs here about to show up, and curious to see. I feel like Apucci might be more inclined to play aggro.
Yeah, I mean it's been looking good this tournament. Elite, come on, come on.
It's like a fine pack, but
Quick
can you
supply
really pick
looks
it with
good.
the Sabres?
He's a standard Andy though. Would he really pick the quick supply here, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, the amp spec looks good if you want to play a long range game.
I don't know if the
I think even
SBC looks great
fortified
though.
is
Oh my gosh, he
playable.
does do it. I really
Let's
don't
go
like
for it.
those units with that SBC, but I don't know. How would you leverage these SMAMP cores as a Gripnicoma here?
Well, I would just smamp the storms.
Okay, I see. I've like never picked that
Like
pack combination, so
I have played it. I mean, it's not like ideal, obviously, because if the storms end up doing well, then you're like, I'd rather have the item on something else, maybe in the long run. But at the same time, I feel like the spams, like you shouldn't overrate them too much. Like they're nice in the early game, but it's 20% stats.
yeah,
Um, it's not like the end of the world, and you will often get better items during the game anyway. So then you can put
that's true.
those on your actual carries.
Yeah, it's a good way to think about it. You are sometimes just like equipment slot bound, right? So it's good to just use the equipments liberally, free up those better equipments for later. Apucci hasn't moved yet. I guess he's really just sitting down, staring at the board and thinking, which I do respect. I do think the first
Well,
round is very important.
yeah, and you were asking in the Arbiter game what would have been better, the crawlers or fangs,
Yeah.
and here we get to see a setup that starts with fangs.
Yep. Two chaff instead of three though, but yeah, otherwise pretty much the same. Got the Smamp cores as well, which can be some nice DPS here against the Sabres. I think just in general this is rough. Although I think as a Poochie, you're happy to see only two crawlers. I don't know, maybe it doesn't matter. I just feel like it takes too long to kill the storm crawlers unless you have like crawlers living or something.
Yeah, it's not an ideal first matchup, but it tends to get better from like round 2 onwards once you get your chaff deployments.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe against
I
tower
think
though.
round 2 though, Phoenix here looks very likely again from a Grip Coma. It's one of the most common
Yeah.
plays I feel.
Yeah, I agree. I think you should do it most likely. I mean, it'll depend on what the cards are, of course, but in most cases, I think Phoenix round 2 is good. I even sometimes do it on Saber Teeth starts. Like, I know it's a little bit unintuitive, but I just think a flying unit on aggro with 16 meters per second that scales really well with levels gives you a lot of playing space.
It's great, yeah. I think it's one of the best. It's probably the best DPS option you currently have, unless you start with like a lot of marksmen and you're just like kind of forced to go with the flow, or you're like a marksman spec. Phoenix just has that little bit of extra DPS to be able to deal with the tankier units, and especially against Saber,
Yeah.
the level 1 marksman I felt can struggle so much.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you called the Phoenix, and we have a difference of reinforcements here. So Gripnicoma went for the Rhino Assault, and that tower is looking pretty exposed. And then we got the laser sight for the Phoenix, which will be good long-term value. You don't really need to click range tech on them anytime soon. And we got two Phoenixes for Apucci, his favorite unit.
Yeah, so going for a bit more greed, as his card had indicated, going for the double Phoenix will protect the flank with that from an air cheese, but won't protect the left tower from that Rhino. And yeah, a Coma going for some tempo, and that should pay off.
Yeah, I wonder if it was better for him to like put a Fang down there and like fortify or something like that instead of the extra
It's just
Phoenix.
yeah, it's tough to deal with though. Like you can only really delay it unless you pick the drop itself. It's
Yeah,
nearly impossible to like actually get rid of it.
yeah, that's fair. Maybe the laser
But a
was too
good
greedy then.
round.
I just think this is too much damage. I don't know how you feel
That's a
about what just
lot,
happened,
yeah.
but
Oof.
just for a laser, like, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's just like these packs are solo hit points, right? You do really feel the changes they've made.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I think HP total matters a ton.
Wow. I mean, that's 4 marksmen. Oh my.
That is 4 marksman.
But it's gonna be Fortress.
Yeah, I mean, Fort anti-air looks fantastic, right?
Well, he doesn't run it.
It's gonna sell. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know then. That wait, what?
These are carry forts, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this earlier. Apuchi's the type of guy is gonna run elite marksman on his fortress or double
Yep.
shot or something like that.
No Fang spawn, no AA.
Yeah,
That is
really
somewhat
interesting.
surprising.
Forts for both players. What's a grip
Mm.
Nakoma running? Oh yeah, we already know from
Well, he has
earlier.
that double shot, but the thing is, I think double shots could come out ahead early on. Like ranged double
Yeah.
shots. Um, but then in the long run, obviously, like you can't contest Overload Elite, but
Yep.
could be good for him. Apuchi, though, prioritizing numbers, and that's important in the mirror. Getting numbers, getting levels, getting techs, and then tech loadouts also do matter, but
Hmm.
has the number advantage here, and sports are staring down one another from the looks of it.
Yep. A grip Nakoma has the option to do the fortress anti-air barrage tech at any moment, but I don't know if you would want to because fortresses may be your carry here, and every tech costs 200 more subsequently. So he may just be at the perfect equilibrium where he doesn't want to click that tech, which is pretty nice for Apuchi.
Yeah, I think if he clicks Forte A, like he already lost the mirror. Like he cannot
Yeah,
contest anymore. He would have to go for something like Melter.
for
A
sure.
little bit of a flank from a Coma, but won't pay off. Will only delay a Crawler pack and 2 Phoenixes.
Yeah, it's kind of effective, but a lot of this comes down to like who's gonna snipe the anti-air of who, right? Looks like tower pressure is not relevant here,
Yeah,
so it's
Phoenix
just
is level 2 with the Smamp, doing really well though.
yeah. Oh, it's so painful if everything lives.
Oh, the Phoenixes will end up going down maybe? Ooh,
Wow,
oh, that
close.
is so close, but it matters a lot. That's so much damage.
Yeah, it's for sure. It's like almost a 1500 HP swing, or maybe not that much, but it's a big swing.
It's only round
Another
4 too. Another Rhino Assault.
that's really annoying.
Oh, Bucci being so greedy here, leveling up that fort with the intensive, but I was going to mention the left tower was completely open still last round. It feels so risky to do this
Hmm.
type of thing. Okay, we'll level, and the Rhino does look like it will end up going there, so maybe the delay will be enough.
Putting
Oh,
it
never
closer to
mind.
that tower. Ooh, that's a nice move.
I think he might have heard me there.
Stream snipe.
goes for the goes for the level 1 tower.
You have to imagine that
Oh,
Apuchi's gonna crush the ground
oh,
though,
he
right?
doubled. We're back to the old level 2 tower. Okay. Keeps
Look at his
playing with
crawler
us.
as
Oh.
well. Top left crawler there, gonna put more pressure on that tower.
Yeah, it will end up falling.
Yep,
It'll just take a bit more time. Rhino does really good DPS, so
yep.
yeah, 7 seconds of debuff will definitely still matter. Instant range, by the way, on these fortresses, plus
Ooh.
a level. It's only round 4. I mean, this is such a fast-paced game.
100%. We got temp range coming out for Grip Nakoma, whereas temp speed for Apuchi. These players are feeling the tempo. I mean, fortress levels are huge when they're in a mirror like this. So we'll have to see. If he had 50 more money, I'd love to see a missile to kill this bottom right crawler that's flanking him, just to accelerate his chaff and his phoenix into the battle here.
Yeah, I think maybe though this fortress might just be able to take care of everything.
Oh yeah, it
Insta-lock
can.
onto the fortress, that is very nice.
Yeah, the Arclight's killing the crawlers. Like he set up a really good ground battle here. He may be fine,
Tower
even
will
with
end
the
up
debuff.
falling, but yeah, I don't think this
Yeah,
debuff matters. There's too many crawlers still. Like, those crawlers on the right, distracting the fortress, are so valuable here. And yeah, that debuff did nothing.
Still a close battle though. The Phoenixes are exposed. We need the tower kill here for Apuchi. He gets it.
Yeah,
Will the
that will
Phoenixes
work.
turn? Oh, they're turning the wrong way though.
I think they'll be
But
stuck on the fortress, though.
yes. Okay. Apuchi's on the
Oh!
board.
Ooh, fortress almost going down.
Okay, no
Okay,
levels.
well,
Steel ball or
improve.
EMP.
It does go for the steel ball. It's just such a good item.
Yeah. Now that you mention it though, yeah, the firepower was interesting on the blue fort. Just to deal so much punch. EMP here for a grip no coma. Doesn't look crazy good, but it is good.
He's trying to see if he can maybe, like,
Yeah, it's not possible.
min-max it and hit the other fortress.
Ain't no way. Puts a fang all the way in the back, Apuchi does, to handle that crawler. It's pretty cute. Gives him protection against air flanks as well, so it's a pretty nice way to handle that.
Do you
Bubble
know, I'm
manually
looking at it, and I
purchased.
think you can hit this EMP on both, but maybe I'll
Think
just
so?
have to, like... Yeah, I think you can, but it's kind of risky, and if you miss it, you might miss both.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So maybe it's
Like,
not worth it, but could be a fun challenge.
yeah, for sure. Threading the needle would be terrible. Like imagine you just don't hit any of them
Hey, I would respect it, you know, for the
in a
attempt.
tournament too. Cost you the whole tournament. Oof.
Okay,
Oil.
well, Gripno Coma is willing to just keep facing these
Oh,
fortresses. Instant second tech on round 5, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just surprised it comes this
yeah.
early. Elite?
It's gonna hit the bubble right off rip, right? Boom.
Well, we'll get disabled though, so even more value from that
Yeah.
electromagnetic impact.
This EMP is insane. So much chaff
Yeah,
here.
it's real good. Fortress has been locked onto by Gripnocoma's fortress, but can he kill it? Is the
Yeah.
question. I feel like this fortress will recover, but
Is this ever game? Like, I guess not.
no. It's close though.
Yeah, there's like 1500
This
on the
this is
battlefield,
yeah,
I
this is
think.
like 1500. Oh wait, the phoenixes.
Is that it?
Oh, the phoenixes got sniped.
Are those Apuchis? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
those are Apuchis. Oh, that is clutch. That's gonna save him so much hit points here.
Air is so OP, guys. Like, this is ridiculous.
Air is cheat confirmed. This is just gonna win him the round. That
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe the laser sight coming in clutch here. Like, it costed him a
Yeah,
lot earlier, but
it's such a common thing when you like just buy one phoenix each and then no other anti-air, and then this ends up happening.
oh no, Ion Blast, that's unskippable. That's both players picking it. Now we're gonna come down to like cell and mobile beacon tactics.
Yeah, I mean, I think you don't care if you're a Pucci. Like, that right fortress does not care about Ion. Like, you can tank it, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
And it's
probably
kind of the
agree.
same for Agripnokoma. Like, he gets 2 levels here as well. But there's more
Uh,
stuff to hit between, like, the arcs and the chaff.
I feel like I think he cares. Like that looks painful AF. We'll see though. I'm not really sure yet.
Ah, well, it doesn't seem like he's willing to just skip it.
Oh, he didn't take it? Oh, interesting.
Did he pick Extended Range Phoenix? I think he did.
He did, yeah. Oh, wow. Like, you kind of
He's
care
like,
about the
I'm not letting that
damage.
happen again.
Yeah, you're right. He's just taking it to like have the upper hand in the Phoenix battle. That's kind of interesting,
I
honestly.
mean, now he matches, right? The laser sight without having laser sight.
Yeah,
Same range.
very interesting. The
Another
Rhino Assault.
fortress.
I don't know if the Rhino Assault will matter. Yeah, Blue Fortress,
Uh,
intensive.
this will get debuff, but ooh, okay, nice beacon.
Yeah, that's a nod towards the either the Rhino or the Ion Blast or both. Because that will clean up the Rhino. I think the Rhino is already pretty handled, but
Yeah, the fortress on
possibly.
the left though that's been added for Gripnocoma. That should get the tower, I think. Oh, never mind, it gets pulled towards the center.
Wow.
I'm also not sure if these phoenixes will be able to hit the rhino, by the way. I don't think they will.
Yeah, and maybe the
So there will
crawlers
be a
just get the
debuff, but
tower.
Pretty nice ion there.
Yeah, the
One
Ion was
fortress
sweet.
going down, but good lock on for our Grip Nakoma. We'll get rid of one of the big forts from Pucci, and the other one that was added and immediately leveled up with the intensive training also ends up falling. Question is, what happens with these Phoenixes? Only one left alive for Grip Nakoma, two left alive here for Pucci, but they have
Yeah.
their work cut out for them. Lots of units alive still.
Yeah, it's looking good for a Cryptocoma for sure.
Uh-oh.
Or
Oh, no. Don't. Oh, there's a missile there.
yeah.
Phoenixes. Oh, they avoid it. The targeting, but the debuff. I think, yeah, Grip Nakoma should have this.
Yeah. I think he wanted the -50 there. I think it was pretty tough to imagine him getting the win. Or, like, killing the Phoenixes.
I mean, there was only one, right? So
Yeah, you're
if he
right, there was
manages to kill
potential.
it, then
Yeah.
in another world, parallel dimension.
Level 6 Rhino, 2 Raidens.
Hmm.
What do you
I
like
mean,
there? I like
uh,
the
you could probably
Rhino,
just run the Rhino into the fort here on the edge, and it probably wins.
right? That exposed one on the left with a level.
Yeah, you probably can. It's a bit of a funky play, but
I think Ibuchi's the type of player who would either single or double tech his Rhino here. Call me crazy, but, like, he likes to click Mech Rage, and of course armor
oh
is yeah, the
well.
Raidens.
We did see a Grip Nokoma's favorite unit being Raiden, so here it is, and both players pick it up, in fact.
There it
Shielded
is.
Fang
That's a great move. That is such a great
on
move.
4 Fangs? He kind
Yeah,
of
I
needs to
think it's
buy
good.
more. I
I think it's
mean,
good.
I guess you double your chaff, right? You basically get like 4 packs of chaff there for 500.
Yeah, and you can buy more. Like, I think he will buy some more right now. The EMP, though, on the Raidens, is that a good play? Maybe? I don't know.
I don't hate it. I mean, if you can turn off the fortress range, that's kind
Mhm.
of big in the mirror.
Yeah, I guess so. What a
Pucci's selling out of the Raidens.
what a weird position.
Goes for Mustang. So Mustang fort here into the Raiden.
Yeah, and it's really helpful against the Shielded Fangs that I was just praising. Like, I still like the Shielded
Yeah.
Fangs, but that's really good for Ibuchi.
And the Grip Nakoma here loaning, importantly. Pucci hasn't clicked the button.
Wow, so greedy. He's low on health. These are giants. Like,
Yeah, this fortress, by the way, on the left, completely undealt with.
yeah.
Perhaps Pucci hoping they would get pulled again, but that's just eyes on the prize, and that tower will fall. Two
Oh
shots is
my
all it takes. 7 seconds of
gosh.
debuff now. That is not a good sign, and these fortresses are locked on. The big fort there falls. Only the two in the middle remaining, but you have to imagine that that will simply be too much.
Yeah, he looks toast unless the Phoenixes can pull some weird miracle. I highly doubt it.
No, one goes down. The Raiden doesn't take prisoners, and yeah, that Phoenix with the extended range will take it out. And that's simply
Wow.
another, like, such a quick game again. These low hit points packs really showing how volatile these matchups can be at the highest level.
100%. We've had round 5, 6, and now 7. And congrats to Agripnokoma for making it through 2-0. He is through to the round of 8 next week.
And I have to say, he kind of remains a bit of a mystery to me because we got to see so little of him. I mean, it was just like two really quick games and really clean games, I have to say. But
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm
we'll
familiar
have
with
to
him.
follow this
I've
guy.
played him a lot on the ladder, so like I am familiar with him to some extent, but seeing him in a high stakes game, performing so well, taking down a Poochie, like that's really impressive. So it's definitely
Yeah,
exciting
and
for him.
Arbiter before that as well.
Yeah, just taking down these top 501 dogs. Really impressive stuff. His standards looking pretty good. He handled the Fort Mir really well despite having kind of inferior techs, I suppose.
Yeah, he made real good use there of, well, the cards he was dealt and managed to just close it out very cleanly. Some good pressure on the left tower. I like that. And yeah, maybe that's where the greedy playstyle from Mapuche kind of came back to bite him. Lost a lot of hit points early on. That Rhino drop being a bit of
Yeah, that was painful.
yeah, a thorn
Spells
in
are
his
OP.
side.
They're still OP. We haven't had we haven't had the patches that fix it yet, you know? Although he handled the Ion Blast turn really, really well, just skipped it and still did really well. So now we're into
Well,
our elimination matches, which are best of threes, and it's going to be Arbiter up against B-Man. That should be pretty interesting. We'll see if Arbiter can pick things up. As I was saying earlier, he hasn't had a lot of time to practice. He's been super busy this month, so we'll see if he managed to cram in all the practice he needs to battle through these best of threes.
Yep. I mean, I played 2 games against him earlier today, as part of his practice. I'm not sure if, I was worthy enough of an opponent, but he did manage to beat me there, so it'll be interesting to see how he performs here.
Yeah, I mean, he's such an experienced player, right? Like he's been around since forever, always on top of ladder, always, I would say, either innovating or catching on to the meta like really quick, and having the good takes. So I definitely am not counting him out here. As far as a favorite, I would maybe in a biased manner say I'd give it to Arbiter, but I think B-Man is like such a intelligent and good player that yeah, I think it's anybody's game.
Yeah, I mean, if they weren't, then they would be here. So
Yeah.
either one can take it home, but I will side with you on this one. I think Arbiter has a playstyle that's also kind of similar to Sacco. Both of them like to play a lot of twos together, so might have taken some pages out of Sacco's book here as well. And well, Sacco has managed to make it through, so maybe Arbiter here can follow his footsteps and close it out. But for B-Man, might be looking to kind of battle through the last bastion, the 501, and try to meet up with Apucci in the next best of three and make it a 201 only uh, group here.
Yeah, that's true. It is possible. Have we had days like that, or has it been balanced so far? I'm trying to remember. I think it's been balanced like every time. Like we got Cast and Guzzle on Group A. Who else? We got Sako and Red Hair on Group B, so it's even so far. Group
Then Flower
C,
Fairy Tonguedale, same thing.
yeah, as far as like English and yeah, Chinese. So yeah, it's really interesting. We make balanced groups, we get balanced outcomes. The rivalry continues. Very exciting. Of course, Sako did win the first season of MAG1, so now it's
Yeah,
201's
but
turn to come back.
I mean that too was a 201 versus 501 final, so
Yeah, yeah.
crazy
It's
how that
crazy.
storyline continues. Well, here we go. Anything that catches your eye?
Saber? I'm just joking.
I mean, it's a pretty good pack.
Quick
I like the
Supply
Rhino
or
spec
Rhino?
there as well.
Yeah, me too. Farseer looks solid. They did nerf that unit combination and the SBC, but it's still good, right? Like, such a solid pack.
Yeah, it kind of evens out, I guess, in the hit points because Arc Sledge got nerfed, but then Farseer spec and Typhoon spec got more hit points because you now receive it on round 4.
Yeah, fair point. So really the only thing that changed then is the Farseer timing.
Yeah. Goes for the Saber pack here. Another really low hit point pack. This is kind of why, I mean, the last games have kind of shown, but I dislike playing these like sub 4K hit point packs for that reason. I kind of like, being able
Yep,
to
yep,
goof around a bit and then, still recover because I have the hit points. And then with 3800, it's like, yo, you got a good pack, but you got to prove it. If you mess up,
yep, yep.
like, you'll just lose.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we feel the same way. Like this is why we both like Elite. Elite like almost always
Yeah, it's
is
like
5K or
5K hit
more.
points packs. Like,
it
yes,
hits
please.
it hits different, man. Like you feel like psychologically different when you're playing these like 3,700s
Oh,
versus 5,000,
you can just slack off, like be AFK for 3 rounds, come back, and like you're still fine.
and you still win the first
Lovely.
like 1 to 2 rounds anyways as Elite because
Yeah,
like that SPC
I
is
click
broken.
I click blue crawlers. I accept my round 1 win. Thank you.
Yep. Well, it's aggro for Arbiter. His crawlers are pretty far forward, so the Arclights will have a good time. I was chatting to this about Arbiter the other day that I usually put these crawlers a little bit further back than he does, the ones that are right behind the saber teeth. But he says that at some point in the game he likes to have his crawlers there, so he just wants to get it
Mm.
over with now to have flexibility.
Yeah, interesting. I have a similar approach to you. I don't really know why, but yeah, that's what I've been defaulting to. But it's interesting to hear the thoughts of other players on that.
Yeah, well, you want to get the Arclight stuck on your sabers is my rationale at least.
Yeah, fair point.
Let's see how these
Well,
sabers do.
this is not a winnable round 1 matchup ever, I think, for B-Man.
I've beaten tarantulas with that type of pack, but against sabers it's different, right? Like sabers are so much tougher to get through.
Yeah, I mean, Arc Sledge is a good pack, and this will be good in the long run. Sledges are actually one of the best, I think, units into Saber, ironically, because they can't really kill them that easily early on, but they take a really long time to kill. And yeah, that can provide you the time needed for the DPS carries, like a
Yeah,
Phoenix, for instance, to kill these Sabers.
yeah, for sure.
The one issue is that you will maybe have to deal with a leveled Sabertooth very early on.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to see if Phoenixes are coming out once again, but I think they are one of the more safer things to do on round 2, especially when all you have all your chaff clear done, like B-Man has here.
Well, immediate free unit rounds available, and double marksman picked up quickly for B-Man. Arbiter likes that Mustang. It's a good pairing with the Sabres. Think kind of a classic even before it was added to the starting units.
Yeah, so players needed upshoot because Phantom Rays were offered. Marksmans were picked by B-Man because B-Man didn't have any single target yet. So I understand the thought process behind the players' decisions. I think 201 players really like marksmans on defense. Like you see Fang Fang, aka Red Hair, use that quite a bit. I see B-Man use that quite a bit too. What text is he running on his marksmans? We have Shooting Squad,
I would
Double
say
Shot.
yeah, that's the correct ones. I think double shot is the one you need if you want to try and kill Sabres with marksman. I've
Yep.
managed to pull it off in some games, so I don't mind it. But I like what he's done by purchasing a Stormcaller here as well, because it'll kind of make up for the lack of DPS he will have still.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see. I mean, the marksmen can scale really well. They are really efficient with levels as well. Like only paying 50 to double your DPS is really insane on that first level. We do have Arclight range now, so his chaff clear is going to look really, really good. The Mustangs, though, are going to look pretty terrible, but I think he just wants it as insurance against the possible air. Of course, tempo has
Ooh,
been really important here, and oof, painful missile there.
tempo missile there. But yeah, that's a big round from Arbiter. Using his quick supply to get Arc on range on turn 2 is
Yeah,
not very common. Arc range turn 3, very common, but on turn 2, that's ahead of the curve.
yeah, 100%. Getting Arclight levels would be a great reward for choosing this play, but it did get nerfed by 15%, and I don't know, I think it might be a pretty big nerf. Like, I know Arclights are still amazing and you're going to buy them simply for their chaff clear, but the amount that you can carry with them in scale is going to go down quite a bit, and
Ooh.
levels matter for chaff clearing too, right? So I think it's a pretty big deal. Like I honestly level my arc lights for chaff clear reasons a lot of the time because like my arc lights will get stuck on their arc lights, and then when yours is blue, like you kill their arc lights so fast that you can go back to chaff clearing.
Yeah, it does make a big difference, true. I mean, they farmed decently well there. That debuff last turn was really crucial in getting some experience from the tower and the marksman.
Yeah, they're all ready to level. Like they're pretty much over half bar on all of them.
Whoa. Extended
Yep.
range being picked up is kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, both players are doing surprising stuff here. Like the B-man play is not crazy surprising to me, but like not a play I usually go for. I do kind of like it though. Subsidized marksman. He's bought in 2 so far. He still has his extra deploy if he wants to pay for it. Arbiter took the extended range arc light, so he's going to have really long range arc lights. They of course will one-shot fangs, but they do not one-shot crawlers if they take the health enhancement. Is that how that works?
Yeah, they don't. I think do it normally. No, they have like the exact same attack. So yeah, they just about one shot them
That's right.
perfectly without any tower enhancements. But yeah, as soon as the first tower enhancement on the defense um, comes to play, then yeah, they can't. Which is why I think it's a bit of an awkward card. But there's no crawlers, so yeah, as you said, that might make the difference, and
Yeah.
might have been why Arbiter goes for it.
Early marksman range is pretty cool. Like it definitely makes sense against the arc lights, which have their own range. But it's such a unique way to defend. Like I've personally never defended in this manner before.
Yeah,
201 players
it's
do like it though.
something. Yeah, it's something you would take later on in the game, I guess. But
Exactly. Yeah.
perhaps
Yeah,
reading that
really
the
interesting.
arc lights here might have too much range.
Yeah, I suppose so. This is very interesting.
Oh,
So
Saber did catch a
he
level.
did it. Oh,
Yeah,
last round. Yeah, the blue one. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
he's a monster.
Yeah, that's tanking for quite some time, and that should be debuff.
So did B-Man just buy a Stormcaller, like, manually? Just one?
Yeah, yeah, he did that last turn.
Isn't that kinda weird? Like, paying 50 to unlock it and only getting one? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it because I think, yeah, he does need the extra damage there. I'm not going double shot this early. I mean,
Yeah, I just prefer, like, Phoenix or something, but yeah, it's interesting.
yeah, it's like the awkward bit where you take the marksman from the free unit drop, and then you're like, ah, but I
Oh,
already have a
yeah.
marksman. I don't really want to go Phoenix as well. It's like,
Yeah, that's true.
but yeah,
That's
wow,
interesting.
Vulcan. So Vulcan marksman going to be the defense here. That's a bit scary in front of the level 2 saber, though. Not sure that
Yeah,
I fully trust that, but
I kinda like the play overall, and the barrier gives him defense against the Ion Blast if Apuchi were to go for that.
uh, arbiter, you mean? Yeah, yeah.
Or Arbiter, sorry. Yeah, so it's kind of an interesting play, but I agree that the sabers are pretty spooky.
And levels now available on all of these arc lights.
Ooh, barrier as well. Is that for a melter or fortress? Like, what is that?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he takes it
That's
preemptively, but I don't think you pop a melter here. Like, you don't know the Vulcan is coming, so it's gotta be a fortress.
okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm a little perplexed by it. Do you think he's going for a Fang summoning
I mean,
gameplay?
yeah, that's the only reason I could see you taking this, because otherwise there's no real point in doing so. But with the Vulcan on the board, I'm not sure he'll be too happy
Hmm.
with that plan.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting.
He's not a giant spec either, so with giant spec you can sometimes get away with this and then
Yeah, yeah.
like unlock another giant and move the barrier, but he had to pay 200 for that.
He does get all his Arclight levels that I was mentioning the previous turn, like all the levels happen, so that's really strong for him. Like he has a lot of Arclights. He bought a new one on the left too. That's kind of interesting. They have crazy
This is
long range.
really good tempo.
Yeah,
Like
this is
that Vulcan
crazy.
is just getting absolutely blasted from all sides, and the barrier did so much work. Another
It really
Stormcaller
did.
was picked up, so getting some
Yep,
value out of the unlock.
yep, makes sense. Still not a fan, but it does make sense at least.
A tough customer, I see.
I don't like storms, okay? I'm an aggro Andy.
Well, they're good. They're good shield break, trying to sell you they're good against the barrier, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, which he did not know was coming.
Well, that's beside the point.
Well, speaking of shields, we got shield airdrop here, which is gonna block some of the fire here. The fire is really only gonna kill, I guess, 2.5 crawlers. It's not
You
like the
could put
craziest
it up
fire.
further up front, I think.
Yeah, we got a
I think
left-sided
you can
attack now
put
as
it.
well.
Oh. Yeah, that fortress is all the way on the other side.
The poor Arclight, though, he's gonna get sniped off rip. I feel like you should see that coming as Arbiter, because like he has subsidized marksman, right? Such a cheap response. I don't know. There's a lot of mind games there, I suppose. Missile as well. Okay, so B-Man's being really cautious about it.
Double shots on the marksman too.
Yeah, really interesting.
I wonder if there's enough damage though to deal with these fortresses. I mean, two more were added. The range now as well.
Yeah, I think he's got the damage as long as he can shield break decently quickly.
I mean, I know it's double shot marksman, but that's still less than a normal level 2 marksman in terms of DPS.
Yeah, it's a fair way of framing it. White marksman, really low DPS, but he has a decent amount of them. Will his tower get sniped? There is range on the fortress.
Yeah, I think, yeah, there it goes.
That's going to be a
That's
lot of
just,
damage.
yeah, that's triple fortress living plus some arc lights.
Yeah, that's a good 1250 coming through, it looks like. Yep.
Big round.
Big round and he's
And
scaling really well.
yeah, no fortress levels just yet, so that's maybe a saving grace for B-Man, but I mean, you need to get some DPS on the board fast, and with the investment
Yeah.
into marksman, it would feel really bad here to have to commit into Melter as well. Like, you'd have rather just bought a Melter
Yeah.
last round instead.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, they're helpful against the Arclights, but the Arclights are not really the problem, right? It's really the fortresses. Like, you could buy more storms too,
Ah,
but
there
no.
we go.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a feels bad moment.
Yeah, yep. It might work
Ends
out,
up,
like, we'll see, but
yeah, ends up selling the Scorpion. Both of them do,
mhm.
and yeah, B-Man
Fang
realizing
Summon.
that he has no other choice, so goes for the
Yep.
Melter.
So we got the sort of like ring around the entire board now in B-Man, big pressure everywhere. We've got Fang summoning, 12 Fangs being summoned by each fortress every 30 seconds. So that is a lot of chaff to get through. He needs his Arclights to stay alive. His Vulcan as well, although I don't know how long that will stay alive.
Yeah, I mean the pressure here is just immense. He does have the oil, but the problem with Melter into this is that you really need extremely good shaft clear from something like Vulcan or maybe even Incendiary Bomb.
Yeah, I like the
The
missiles he's
Fangs,
doing.
yeah, this is important. But there's no shaft clear on the left, by the way. It's just like one arc light with no range.
Yeah, and fortresses have range, so like they're gonna lock on the
Oh,
melter.
they're locked on already.
Yeah,
That does not look good. And the Melter on the right that was just purchased actually falls even earlier.
gosh. Yep, and then Fangs are coming any moment now. It looks bad.
Yeah, 1,200 hit points remain. That's just game. All 5 fortresses here, I think, remain alive. Maybe the
Yeah.
one in the fire dies, but poor Fangs instantly spawn and die, but they were sacrificed for a good cause if you're Arbiter, since he will be taking away the win here.
Yep, starting off the series 1-0 with pretty good tempo or momentum, I should say, going into it. Fortresses have looked pretty good here, I have to say. I mean, Silly Lag, of course, did spam them 6 times today in the tournament. Surrey, though, did not have any luck with it. So they're a little bit of mixed results. Like, I'm not sure where I land yet on the wide fortress. I definitely think it's strong and very easy to pilot once it gets going. But I do think there is counterplay to it. Like when you go wide, you're always sort of weak to like big brawler units that are a bit bigger than them, like
Yep.
level 2 forts, War Factory, big Scorpion, stuff like that. So sort of on a knife's edge there, whether you have the tempo and the tower pressure to close it out.
Yeah, it can be a bit slow to set up, and then if you lose a lot of hit points because of that, then you can just fall prey to something like the level 2 armor factory play that we've seen.
Yeah,
But you basically have all the tools available to be able to beat pretty much any comp. Um,
yeah,
and yeah, I mean, this game was just smooth sailing for Arbiter. Didn't really have any problem setting up whatsoever. And the result is a round 6 win.
yep. Well, if Arbiter wins the next one, then he'll go up against a Poochie, which is kind of crazy matchup as well. The two 501 Titans going at it.
Yeah, that'd be something, but we're not quite there yet, and I'm sure B-Man will want to say something about that in this best of 3.
Yeah, for sure. What will he do different though? Maybe he turns on the aggro?
I don't know. I think B-Man is really quite happy to just play passive. He knows his opponent is even like somewhat capable of playing aggro.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see like what players do on ladder versus what they do in the tournaments and like how some people handle their nerves by always doing the same thing, whereas some players are like way more flexible and like they'll aggro half the times or defense half the times. I think like Sako, for example, is pretty good at doing both. I mean, you saw in the Flower Fairy finals of season one, he was pulling out a lot of standard and looking really good at it when that's supposed to be Flower Fairy's territory.
Yeah, and I mean that actually did like kind of kickstart like the arc worm meta that followed. Kind
Yeah.
of a pioneer perhaps in that play style, but yeah, it's been interesting to see how these developments have taken shape and sometimes even like mixing, I guess, some ideas from aggro like back into standard and vice versa.
Yes, I was just thinking about that. Like the style that Cass does is really exciting for me, where like he buys so many sledges in stand. I mean, Apucci also did it really well in season one of MAG1, just buying so many sledgehammers and actually having tower pressure. Now, of course, you can get lucky and get like extended range sledgehammer from from the card reinforcements, but you don't need it. Like you can just do those deep flanks, and sledge plus crawler deep in the flank is such a pain to get rid of that. And we also saw Tungdil do some crazy flanks as well in standard. So it is cool to see players experiment and sort of mix the styles. I think you can also mix aggro with standard. Like there's some games where I just feel like I can't. I mean, this was a way different patch, but there's some games on aggro where I feel like I can't aggro anymore, and I just start buying long range units.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta take a step back. Had a game like that today with like too many spells, and I was just like, I'll end it with like long range storm callers. Like I don't want to deal with any of this.
Yep, yep. It's cool that it's
Anyway,
possible.
game two. It is, yeah. That's the beauty of the game.
Ooh, a fast training spec pick. That's a good pack, I think. Get an instant level 2 Arclight.
Do we get our first saber mirror of the day?
I don't think we will. I think we're gonna see Aerial, Giant, or Saber. I would love if he picked Aerial, but I don't think he will.
Nope. It will be a saber mirror.
Well, okay,
D
that just
saber
shows
pick
you
saber.
he either likes that SBC or he likes the Saber. I'm not sure what it is. I think Amped SBC is, like, really not that
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough choice, you know. Both are so good.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Well, both of them willing to play aggro, but it looks like we might have a bit of a crossfire here where
Yeah.
oh, never mind.
Oh,
Spoke too
oh.
soon. Headbutt.
God, this round 1 matters so much.
Yeah, this
Arbiter's
is
further
one of the
forward.
reasons that I try to just avoid the pack because I'm like, I'd rather try and defend you playing Saber than run the risk of having to play the Saber mirror. Because
Yep,
like we've seen, like some of these games are volatile, but this is also very, very volatile.
for sure. I'm liking B-Man's position a little bit more, I think, and not just because of like RNG of where things land, but I like the way he's arranging it. But speaking of where things are lined up, does B-Man just get an instant snipe on that saber?
Yeah, I think he does. That does not bode very well. What do you think about this level up on the arc, by the way,
I pretty much
on
like
round one?
I auto do that like almost always. Like I will save it if I already have arc lights or like I don't know. I sometimes save it, but usually it's just on the arc light.
Yeah, I don't like it at all in these type of mirrors into Saber, because what it does is usually it will end up dying, and then it just feeds so much experience into the Saber that you instantly lose the mirror, like this.
Wow, Arbiter won. I guess maybe it was a smamp diff. I definitely see a smamp diff. Okay, it was a smamp diff.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
but the problem now is that like that Saber on the left got so much more experience than it ever would
Yeah,
otherwise.
yeah, for sure. I
And
agree.
look at the experience on the sabers for B man. Like it's a sliver.
Yeah, no, I think you raise a good point. I'm not sure if it means it was a bad play or not. Like, there's a lot of ways you can use the training SPC, but yeah, it's you're kind of playing with fire. I do agree. Are we going to
All
see
right.
more
Well,
disrespect of the Rhino Assault?
is it a bit of a 501 trades perhaps?
Oh no.
I think there is like this certain mindset of aggro players where it's just like, I agreed. Like if tower goes down because of spell,
Hmm.
like that's just how it be. Like
Yeah,
I will keep building my board forward and just tank the one round that you get the cheese.
headbutts are supposed to be like a little bit like more less vulnerable to spells like this, right? Because the battle commences so quickly that maybe the result of the battle is already decided before the debuff interacts with the battlefield. So that could happen here. The problem is that rhinos kill towers so quickly.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here what happens. The redeploy has been picked up, and we get a nice little
Shuffle, yeah.
repositioning of the Fang there. I like that. It'll now split up, and it'll also be right in front of the Saber instead of in front of the Arclight. So that'll
Yeah.
that'll buy maybe like a couple seconds.
Yeah, it's a great move. I agree.
Nice pull on the top flank here from Arbiter as well, but the Rhino will now get in, and that debuff
Chop.
could
Chop.
matter. Yep. Saber's catching up in experience now for B-Man.
That's just such an efficient
Importantly,
spell. So
yeah,
efficient.
it's you kind of have to just almost pick it, but I guess the redeployment there too valuable for Arbiter. We'll have to see if he
Yeah.
manages to make something off it.
Hmm. Interesting options here. I really like these
Wow.
options. There's so many possibilities here. Like there's ball pressure, like balls and headbutts can be quite good. Sledges just as like defenders right in the front, really good against saber teeth.
Yeah, it's a bit cramped though, so I
Yeah,
wonder
it's
where
really
you'd put
cramped.
them, but it is the sledgehammer pickup for B-Man.
Yeah, with sledgehammers, all I do is I just always put them on the line vertical. I've seen Woot do that, and I've sort of just like accepted that that's a good play, and I do it with most of my medium-sized chaff. So that's how I would do it, but I know some players do differently. Like we can see B-Man here prefers to have them in the back, nice and safe. I guess it depends what you're trying to use them for. Like if you're trying to use them for
Ooh.
chaff clear, you want them further back.
Now there's a tempo play if ever I saw one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. A Rhino
Rhino?
flank, but the blue Mustang's
Yeah.
there.
I mean, it probably does die before it spawns.
Yeah, it won't live too long. We got crawlers to help out as well. But I mean, it's threatening a lot, right? Like it can take armor on the subsequent turn, and then we need something to answer it. Got that annoying crawler coming, but it's only going to pull the crawler. So kind of a weird crawler flank here.
Yeah, it's a little far up the flank. Maybe you want it a
Yeah,
little bit further down.
yeah,
Well, Rhino does manage to spawn in alive, and the crawlers will eat through the stangs.
yeah. That worked out pretty good actually.
Couple crawlers still alive, though. Looks like it's somewhat of a stalemate in the top, but Arbiter managing to win out on the main fight again, without the debuff.
Yeah, Rhino winning the right side as well. Looks like Arbiter's got it.
Yeah, looks like I think the Sabres also are matched in terms of ability to level up, so
Hmm.
pretty even game so far.
Yeah, who's scaling better though? I mean, the Rhinos versus Sledgehammers, kind of a
I mean,
toss
the
up
thing
there.
is, I think the sledgehammers are way better value in the long run as chaff. Like Rhino into Saber doesn't seem that good to me, but it does win this round.
Yeah, it's decent
And
tempo for sure.
I guess there is like one level difference here.
Hmm.
Both of the Sabers being able to level up for Arbiter and only one for B-Man. But yeah, Saber there will go on the corner, but redeployment is available, so could move that Rhino down, maybe in front of the sledgehammers.
Yeah. And where's the intensive going?
That's a good question as well. Okay, Rhino being sold.
Does he fortify the tower then? Or is it gonna get pulled so he doesn't have to? It's so risky. You gotta fortify that, right?
Yeah, especially with the Rhino being there, like you might expect something else showing up. So, like at least maybe a Fang on the outside or something.
Yeah. He does level the Rhino on the flank. Oh, we have secondary armament tech for the Saber here.
I was
Interesting.
not expecting that.
Yeah, it's mostly good
It's
against like medium-sized chaff or like arc lights.
yeah, it's like fine, but I guess it's good in the headbutts because you probably don't want to go range anyway. But
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of a good point actually. You can double shot plus secondary armament if you really want to go deep into sabers as your carry.
oh, just levels the Rhino on the
Chop chop.
flank, by the way. Yeah, that will simply win against the level one Saber there.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Crawler's now getting
Uh-oh.
in, and that looks like a bit of a Rhino crawler. Um, type of situation. That's very unusual to see.
Yeah, not respecting it enough. Like a missile, for example, would have gone so far. I mean, you have to protect your Mustang. That's a big part of your army there. That's 400 supply and your scaling unit.
Yeah, this is a big tempo round.
Yeah,
I
no
think
kidding.
last round was kind of fine for B-Man, but this did not look good at all.
Yeah, for sure. He actually didn't fortify that tower. Wow. It almost fell at the end there. Of course, it wouldn't have mattered, but oh, I put a saber there. Okay,
Oh,
interesting.
okay, well, then it's
It's weird though. He like stole the
acceptable.
rhino to put a saber there, or no,
True.
redeployed. Or did he sell it? He did sell it. Yeah, weird play.
Well, it does pay off, and those secondary armaments not bringing home the win. Intensive though, available there for B-Man. The second one shows up and picked up, which will mean the Saber should be able to deal with that level 2 Rhino, I presume.
Yeah, yeah, that should be a much better now. So that'll help him out. The crawler gets a level though. Oh my gosh, that is like such a tempting crawler level. It did 21k damage last round. Replicate. Here we go.
It's
Oh
actually
man.
Rhino Crawler. How has this ended up in a
It
tournament game?
it actually looks really good. The crawler replicate tech here. Like I'm not sure if he'll rhino crawler, but I think this crawler tech is really good.
I mean, look, that setup at the top is enough for me to say that's a Rhino Crawler game, all right?
Okay, good point. If he puts a rhino up there, oh he's moving it. I think I'm worried about his right side tower arbiters.
I should be fine, right?
Maybe.
It shouldn't get debuffed at least for like the first 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, maybe the battle resolves. So he instead adds it to the deep flank where the big
Ooh.
crawler is, but there is a sentry missile now, and that's going to deal so much damage. What a good sentry missile.
This right side though for Arbiter is so nice. He sold the Saber, put down an Arclight, and B-Man decided to add more chaff, but now the Arclight just ends up farming so much. Like the
Yeah,
splash just eating through the new Stangs.
yeah, nice move there. I like that.
Such a nice stall. Tower also leveled there, and meanwhile, well, Rhino was dealt with. Level 3 Crawler is not too successful, but Tower debuff will come through before B-Man is able to.
Perfect
And I
timing for Arbiter.
think, yeah, that should be the round going to Arbiter again.
Yep.
Level 3 Saber available for Arbiter next round.
He's made really good use out of the spam cores this game. It's so good on Saber starts.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot of value.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Second round of reinforcements.
What is good here? So there are Mustangs on the board, so no Wasps. Both players' fortresses. That has been a really common pickup today.
I mean, it's so strong.
Good in
It's
headbutts
really
too.
good, and yeah, it's pretty good into Saber as well if it's a level 2 like here.
Yeah. I like where Arbiter placed it. Look how good that looks. Right
Yeah,
in
if
the
you can
corner.
insta-lock, like that's just gone. Almost gets one shot.
Almost one shot, yeah. There is a Rhino Assault. Don't think there's any Goomba Stomp potential. Just gonna bully some crawlers at the bottom, it looks like. He sold the Giga Crawler. Arbiter sold his Giga Crawler in the top left, unless he
No, he
redeployed it.
moved it behind the fortress on the right.
Oh my gosh, that is a spicy play. That Crawler might just own everything.
Ah, we can't sell him. He's too
Maybe we level him with Intensive.
okay. That's maybe a stretch, but
We have
we
elite
keep
crawlers
him
at
we
home.
keep it around. It's yeah. Uh, well, intensive is yet to be used. Maybe more fortresses being picked up. B-Man did go for a level 3 fortress there in the middle. Looks very menacing, but instead
Yeah.
it's gonna be level 4 Saber here for Arbiter.
Yeah, really interesting plays. I agree, that fortress looks really menacing, but maybe there's gonna be, like, so many crawlers,
Also,
it
how on
might be a
earth did we
problem.
end up with double like secondary armaments here? Like Arbiter has matched the tech from
Yeah.
B-Man.
I think the rationale you gave earlier was correct. I think it is good in these headbutts. So I think both players just recognizing that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know this fortress. I'm not sure. Like, this level 3 fortress is just gonna clean house. Um,
Yeah,
I'm not sure about the saber level.
I'm with you. I think fortresses are just a superior saber.
If it manages to like kill a bit more, it might level up again, by the way. Like it's more than 3/4 of the way to level 4.
Yeah, you're right. Kind of
And if
crazy.
it locks on at the same time as this blue fortress,
Oh, the tower.
oh, the tower
Oh
doesn't go
my
down.
gosh.
Okay, but the fortress does kill there for Arbiter. He'll be very happy with that because I think
Yeah.
it'll level up.
Yep, yep. You're right.
It does.
Crazy. Probably
Now,
lasers for both.
that does seem like an easy pickup.
Yeah, everything
B-Man
else
does
is
have one
never.
more intensive, so he could make a level 4 fortress. I'm not sure if he wants to put all of his eggs in one basket, but the play is
Yeah.
available.
Would you ever melt her? Nah, there's no way.
I mean, it feels like
Simply
it's a
no
bit,
way.
little bit low tempo. I'm not sure, but I don't know, like this saber on the left here from Arbiter. I'm not. It's not a play that I really
Yeah.
like. I don't think he should have invested in secondary armaments. I think he should have been happy that he was ahead,
Yeah.
and just like go for fortress.
I think you're
Um,
right.
but
I mean,
yeah,
what's the
now the
play
question
then?
is like, yeah, I mean, I would almost consider selling the saber and just cutting my losses and just going full fortress here anyway. But
Yep. Yep. Well,
I,
he's definitely
I don't
running
know if that's
away.
like acceptable, right?
Yep. That
The
oil
thing is,
looks
B-Man
strong.
does have better techs
We got improved
for the mirror.
Overlord. Sound the alarms. We got improved
Ooh,
Overlord.
that is so crazy.
There's existing Mustangs on the board, and he still
Yeah,
goes
but he
for
is
it.
avoiding
Now,
them.
it does have really good
He's,
splash. He is ignoring them, like you say, and is good at
and
killing a
boats got
fortress.
buffed, right? Or well, changed. So they have 5 more range,
Yep.
and they're like a little bit tankier, but they deal a little bit less damage.
And B-Man bought a singular Phoenix to try and win the round in case he somehow loses, because Forgotten Arbiter has like almost no upshoot until the Overlords got created. Kind of
Yeah,
a
I mean,
crazy play there from B-Man.
yeah.
Round 7 air
I,
check, you know?
yeah, I mean, maybe it matters, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, definitely surprising.
Well, it's all
Well,
going to come down to the stanks for B-Man.
yeah, I really like that card, by the way, Improved Overlord. I think Splash is insane. It's the same reason I like Improved Tarantula.
It's expensive though. 600 cost overlords, like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Arbor's gonna lose his tower here. It's gonna be bad timing.
That is not. Oh
Ouch.
my days. These level 5 Stangs are just absolutely chewing through his army. He won't be happy with that because this
Oh.
improved Overlord play,
Oh.
okay, does trade the
Oh.
Fortress. But this improved Overlord play was kind of like a cheese. Like, hey, here's something
Yeah.
unexpected. And you usually want to try and win those rounds because now you've kind of telegraphed or like showed your hand. And yeah, you don't get two surprise turns like that.
Yeah, for sure. This board state is crazy. There is an insane amount of chaff. Both players have Vulcans. We have a level 6 Mustang with laser sight. That thing is really scary, especially as a boat player. Both players have Replicate as well for some reason.
Yeah, I guess B-Man just decided to match, which is
Yeah.
somewhat surprising because usually people just go drill. But
Yeah, I think it's kind of weird. I don't know if crawlers are really like it was a good tempo play from Arbiter earlier, but I feel like it's kind of ran its course. But hard to say.
anti-air on
Yeah.
these Mustangs, one level 6 and one has been intensively trained, or maybe just leveled to level 3. Could be level 4.
Yeah, I
It's
like the
just spreading his
commitments.
resources.
I like the beacon as well. Just putting your big unit right in the middle so it's got access to everywhere should be pretty safe.
Yep. Now, what's somewhat surprising to me is this oil from Arbiter.
Yeah.
Because he did put an overlord on the left as well. So there's a lot of resources on the left now, but this oil is kind of in a position where you're like, you want your opponent to move towards your tower.
Yeah, I agree it's not cohesive. Like he should be like running away from that tower and like leveling it and letting the Mustangs burn, but instead he's like burning his own crawlers and then his overlord's going to be stranded to die.
Well, the beacon here will play out. Actually, some of the Stangs just got pushed out of the beacon and are crowd surfing their way towards the fire.
Well, there you go.
think they'll B-Man will have to have a word with those crawler drivers because they're drunk. But oh my, well, Mustang's in the middle there.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
they get rid of the over? With that HP is where did it go?
Yeah, laser's such a good item.
That's insane. Other
Maybe it's
Overlord,
fine.
will it go down? No, it
Wow.
will live to
B-man's
tell
getting
the
low.
tale.
That's pretty scary.
What an well, that was kind of quite an exciting round. Lots of stuff
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, this game is a
Oh my,
banger for sure.
improved firepower control system.
Uh-oh. How
Do
big is
you
the biggest
want
stang?
another Gigastang? Well, the Gigastang
Level
has
3.
already an item, so but
Level 3
could
ain't
be
bad
level
though, right?
4.
And could be level
Yeah, I
4, yeah.
mean, you'd take that always.
I think so. We have a Vulcan drop. Where is that going? Top right?
I mean, it could kill some Stangs. It won't get the tower because that has been leveled, but
I mean, the crawlers as well. Yeah, that's where he's putting it. It looks good, I think.
more fortresses, the pickup for B-Man, and just goes barrier for the tankiness.
Ooh, how much HP is that? 40k per level, and he's got 7 total levels on the battlefield. So like a 250,000 just from Fortress Bubble HP.
That's not too bad.
Not too bad. We got HE picked on the Overlords. Wants to kill the Chaff, kill the Mustangs. Makes sense. They will be less useful against the fortresses then and the bubbles we just mentioned, but at least the chaff clearing will be very, very good.
Yeah, quite exciting to see how these will perform because they've got 19 meters of splash.
It's so
Like that's
crazy. That's more than Scorpion.
yeah, that's insane numbers.
More chaff coming out. It's crazy. It was such a chaff heavy game. We're leveling chaff as well. I just saw 2 crawlers from Arbiter get upgraded. See how the Vulcan does in the upper right corner here. Looks like it will kill everything nearby it. Possibly good tower pressure on the right.
Yeah, Vulcan will kill those Stangs, so some good value to protect those boats. But the biggest Mustangs are still alive, and they are having a good time on the left. No fire this round.
Yeah.
Kind of a trade here, but only one boat left alive. And I mean, with these two big Stang packs alive, I think this round is going to go to B-Man, and quite convincingly.
Yeah, will we clean up anything at the end here? Looks like no.
That fortress is still so big.
Well, they're both in 1 tap range now, I would say.
Yeah, but I mean, when you lose the round this hard as Arbiter, like,
Yeah, and you got
that's
nothing coming
doesn't
back.
bode very well. Ooh, mobilized battleship. Now that's
That's
a
nice.
very cheap
Yeah,
extra overlord for this
it's
round.
improved and it has 3 techs. I
All the
mean, can
techs,
you
yeah.
can you get a better
That's
deal than that?
huge. It's half price.
Yeah, even better because it's improved. Well, I don't know where he'll put it, but I would expect somewhere safe. It's not quite the same thing as a Vulcan, so
Well, Stangs did pick up another level and intensive his back off cooldown, so that could be either one level 8 Stang or a level 7
yeah.
and a level 5. Ooh, that I don't like the sound of that.
Look at these summons from B-Man in the lower right
Yeah, that's a
corner
lot
of
of
Arbiter.
spells.
Yeah, maybe it's bad to drop the Rhino there. It's probably fine. The Wasp would just chase if he doesn't. And the battleship is being in a very safe position on the left side.
Yeah, I kind of get it. I mean, can't take too many risks
Yeah, no,
when you have this low on hit points.
I like the way the players are playing this. Got attack level 2 enhancement for B-Man here. Round 10 is a pretty good time to pick that up, especially with Mustangs. No
More Stangs
bubbles
being
for
picked up.
Arbiter. Yeah, both players just sort of spamming what they're most teched in or what they need the most. It was boats
Yeah, I
for
mean
Arbiter,
that
Mustangs
fortress
for
though, like these are still just level 1 boats. They might be improved, but
yeah.
like it's not easy to get rid of this level 5 fortress barrier, and you can see just how much it's tanking.
Yeah, you need to scam the Mustangs, I feel. Like, you need to get lucky and splash them or somehow, like, which is happening.
Oh, okay, that was good. Half the pack gone. Okay, level 5 pack of Stangs is now basically gone. It's
I'm
just the
still
level 7
nervous, though.
Stangs.
I don't know if Arbiter's got it, man. This is really close,
I
though. Get
think
the
this looks good.
tower.
I think this looks good.
I don't think so. Oh, maybe.
I mean, I keep forgetting, like, how much damage these Mustangs deal. Oh,
Yeah.
decent debuff, but oh,
The game goes on?
it
Oh my
does.
gosh, is there oil now? Because that's gonna matter a lot. I think there's oil. Oh, there's
There
not.
is, but it's for B-Man. Ion Beam, Ion Blast,
That's a way
available
to
for both
scam
players.
Mustangs.
It is, but that's a level 5 fortress barrier. Like, I think that they're much safer than your boats are. Like,
Yeah.
you're receiving an ion blast on your side of the board as well. So, like
Yeah,
these
that's
level 1
rough,
boats,
man. The problem is that, like, there's so much chaff and so much Mustangs that you can't scam the board easily. Like, you can't flank, you can't, like, what do? You just buy more boats and pray, right?
yeah. Also, round of applause. We have managed level 9 Mustangs.
Wow.
Exodia has been achieved.
With laser, it's pretty juicy. Mustangs OP.
763,000 damage so far. How much can it farm this round?
Wow. Almost up to a
Can we
million
get to
total.
1 million? Yeah, we might be able to. Oh,
Well,
I
this Ion looks good.
4.
B-Man against Arbiter.
I mean, the Stang Beacon here is a little bit suspect. I don't know why. Like, he could just run
Yeah.
them underneath the shield, I feel, and be fine, but
Yes, yes. I thought the same thing. May not matter though. Let's see. I'm looking at the boats. That's where my eyes are. I think. Oh,
I swear he's gonna manage to somehow kill his level 9 stacks.
they're so close to getting killed. They're running back. Oh,
Some of them are just running through it, but this Ion is nasty from B-Man. Those poor boats.
yeah, that
Oh,
was pretty good. Killed like 2.5 boats. Left side's collapsing here, looking good for B-Man. Arbiter's got some pressure on the right, but I don't know if it will be enough. It didn't do much last time he got tower pressure. That Fortress just has so much HP. He's even got Fortress anti-air here to help out.
yeah, this does not look good. It looks very similar to last round, but just with more fortresses left alive.
Or are we just gonna scam? I guess we can't because there's Fortress
Yeah,
anti.
we can't. That's the Forte A. It's actually closer, I think, than before, but yeah, that
Wow,
level 5 fortresses does not take prisoners and will end the game.
what a game! This is
That
why we
was
need
insane.
headbutts. Headbutts are so
Yeah.
sick.
Hey, that was a round 11 game, by the way. Like, that's a breath of fresh air after
Yeah,
those very quick matchups we had.
for sure. So we're going to game
Sick
3.
game. Yeah, even better, right? Like,
Yeah,
more games, more content.
their lives are on the line. You're gonna be sweating going into that final game.
Yeah, would not want to be in their shoes.
Yeah, much more comfy just sitting at home, chilling, watching this. That's for sure.
Yep, fully agree. The thing is,
Yeah,
as well, like, that's a lot of games played for both of the players because they have to go through this best of 3 now, and then they're not done. Like, you can still get taken out by a Poochie after.
yeah. What was the misclick chat? There was a misclick by Arbiter in that last game there. There was so much
Yeah,
information to take in that game. That
I
was an
think
insane
he
game.
accidentally sold the Overlord on the left that was added in the old
Oh
turn,
no. Okay, you're
and
right
then
about
had to rebuy it.
Yeah, I mean, imagine like the amount of clicks you have to do per turn is also quite insane. There was a lot of spells that game. Like two intensives for B-Man was really powerful as well with the Mustangs. He had a lot of
Yeah,
summons
I
as well,
think.
like Wasp and like Rhino assaults and like their Vulcan assault. We had a boat assault. We were summoning all the things
Yeah,
except for
everything. And
crawlers. I think we only
leveling all
missed.
the things as well.
Yeah. Well, 201s are no slouch at aggro, that's for sure.
Oh, they can throw punches. B-Man is showing it.
For sure. Fortresses looking really good. They got completely out of control that game.
Yeah, they did. I think one of the crucial moments was as well, or like one of the rounds that I really didn't like for Arbiter, and I think that cost him a lot was like again like matching the tech on the sabers on the
Oh,
fortress round.
yeah.
I think that was like a big loss of tempo. Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously the game comes down to more than just that, but I
Yep.
think that's where things kind of started to turn.
No, I agree. Like, it's not even just the tech. It's like the timing of like when do you sell them out? When do you stop leveling them? Like levels are efficient, but not if you're just being completely crushed on that side of the map.
Yeah. And levels did matter. Like level 9 Stang, undoubtedly MVP in that game. Like most damage, we don't even need to
Yeah.
check the numbers. And I mean, we did check the numbers, but
Yep. Yep.
um, level 5 Fortress as well was just so valuable. Like it tanked an insane amount during the
Yep.
entire game.
It's funny how few fortresses he had, but he's like, I'm clicking barrier tech. Like, it's like a quarter
Yes,
million HP.
it's still one of the best techs in the game. Like, it got nerfed repeatedly for a reason,
Yeah,
but like if you get those leveled forts, like it's so insane.
for sure. Bubble's uniquely powerful, and of course, being able to shield your like Mustangs and stuff against spells, especially in these long games. Like, I think that's the thing about like barrier and like whether it's the tech or the item is like they pay econ per turn. Like, you save so much money by having that. If the games go long, you're just chilling. All
Well,
right,
let's see if we have another long game.
training SBCs there with a bunch of arc lights.
Okay, elite spec with 5,700 hit points. I mean,
That's insane.
that's gross. I
I
would
would
pick
pick
it, but
it. Jinx.
yeah, it's two peas in a pod.
Yeah,
Um, training spec here for B-Man instead. I don't think Arbiter will pick it.
he's going like
Um,
Farseer maybe. No, quick. Okay. I
whoa,
mean,
quick.
they
Is
got
this the quad
buffed.
spider opener?
Ooh, it could be. I think the buffs were substantial on Tarantula.
Yeah, I've had multiple games where they kind of get out of control, but well, mostly playing into it. I've played some of it myself, but it still is like the chaff clear powerhouse that it has been.
Yeah,
We've had a meta where it was very, very solid on aggro, but it still has that potential. And I think that the double buffs, both like the reverting the nerf to the range cost and then giving it a bit of extra range, help it to get online a bit quicker.
yeah. I'm with you. I think that's huge. It's crazy how much like 50 supply change on a tech does. It's like it's only a one-time purchase. You don't even have to like repeat this cost, but it just matters so much.
Yeah, and also because Tarantula is like a unit that really wants the range, because it just doesn't have much base range to begin with. So you'll
Yeah,
often be looking for like range on turn 3 ideally, and the difference between paying 300 and 350 on round 3 is quite big. Like
huge. Yeah.
if you don't want to miss deployments, like that can be awkward to slot into your turn sometimes.
hmm Looks like B-Man's going for a half aggro here. Like he's not close to the line. He's sort of just barely in front of the tower, which is really, really interesting. Sarah is really known for this, the 401 player. Arbiter took his time a lot, really unsure what units he wants to buy with his 400 supplies. He goes for crawlers. Looks like he's going to try and put them pretty late to tank the balls, trying to avoid his tarantulas getting beamed by the steel balls here.
I have to say I like this setup from B-Man because the way I read this matchup is that Tarantulas will beat Steel Balls in a full-on headbutt in the long run. They just chaff clear too fast, so the Arclights generally can't keep up, which means that the Steel Balls don't find their targets. So, kind of extending the range and giving the Arclights some time to work with is an approach I really like. And it seems to pay off here on round 1.
Yeah, I like that analysis. That makes sense. I think there is a lot of really interesting advantages to backing things up from the line. I'm usually cognizant of that as well. There's just some units that you have to be really careful about how much space you leave between the board.
Oh, second time extended range Arclight shows up and picked up. by
Yeah,
B-Man.
I kind of like it here. Like if you click on an arc light, the bubble, like the circle radius is like perfect where you're benefiting from the range. And you're against
It's
fangs for the
hitting
most part.
fangs, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like we have a level 2 arc light, we have intensive training. Like maybe he can keep up with levels. But yeah, it was
Oh,
definitely non-trivial, so it is cool to see. He's buying more.
Arbiter grabs himself a haste mod and goes for the classic Phoenix Spider pairing.
Yeah, looks really good.
Yeah, late Fang there for B-Man is looks like is going to be all of the anti-air. Okay, another Fang picked up.
Yeah, interesting.
What do you make of this like play on the left side with the arc and the Fang?
I think he's just like trying to attack this left fang because chaff clear good. And I guess maybe he will set himself up for future tower pressure. Definitely not this round. Like I don't think he's telling himself I'm gonna get the tower, but maybe just setting things up.
I think I would have preferred maybe trying to save my arc light in the middle, but we'll have to see. It's an interesting play for sure.
Well, the Arclight's probably not dying unless he knows the Phoenix is gonna be there, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like afraid on round two if if they're like exposed.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, let's see how the Phoenix does. He's got
Okay,
his work
well,
cut out for him.
that arc light is in prime position. You know, I didn't
Yep.
say anything. Holy moly, that is some value.
Yeah, maybe Everter played into that a little bit too much, but
I mean, who expects an arc light there though? I
yeah,
shouldn't.
yeah, for sure. A little bit surprising there. It's kind of looking decent for Arbiter. He might be able to take out the Fangs to
The
get the
Tarantula's
heroine.
getting some good experience there. Might be able to level up. That'd be huge because it does have the haste mod as well. And yeah, there
Oh,
is
that's huge.
the shine. Yeah, level 2 Tarantula is such a big difference.
Yeah, I'm with you, especially with the haste module. We do have intensive coming off cooldown for B-Man, so that'll be nice. We'll see what he plans to do with that. Will we get the reinforcements?
Phoenix also, by the way, gets a level. That's a great turn for Arbiter.
Wow,
Laser sights
huge.
offered.
These are all juicy except for Mass Prod Phoenix, unless B-Man wants it, but
Ah, it's actually kind of nice. Like
yeah.
I quite like mass prod. It's pretty good into the mirror, especially.
Yeah, you could even like flank with one, honestly, as B-Man.
But goes for the laser sight instead. And another Mustang had a lot of success with it earlier,
It looks
so
good.
maybe trying to repeat that.
Like he's using training SBC really well here. He's using the laser sight well. Like it's a match made in heaven. I think it's a really good call to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with the laser sight, it's fine in the level. I just I'm not the biggest fan of playing Mustang into Tarantula,
That's
since
true.
I think it's really bad, like in the isolated matchup. But
Yeah.
um, something like Mustang Hacker can be a solid counter into the
Yeah.
spiders, and you do need something to deal with potential Fang shields. So
It's a good point.
we'll have to see. Like if the Tarantulas manage to somehow like feed off of the Mustangs, then it could quickly turn the game into Arbiter's favor. But
Yeah. I mean, he did need anti-air, so that's another nice reason to go Mustang. Got to kill that Phoenix somehow. This
oh, this level
Tarantula, though.
Tarantula, it's doing
Oof.
so much.
It's getting
The
tickled by
other
the
one,
Mustangs.
yeah, not having a great time, but yeah, this is what I mean. Like the Stangs just they don't really have the damage to kill the same level tarantulas, and then they just get
Yeah.
eaten, and that's 2/3, 3/4 of the way to level 3 tarantula.
Oof. Yeah. If that thing leveled, it's lights out.
Another good round for Arbiter, but I think B-Man's still in the process of setting up his board. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
kind of a slow turn.
This might help.
Oh, here we go. Round 4 reinforcements. Does
I mean,
anything look even good?
like you could flank with badgers. There's some deep crawlers. Scorpions are always an okay carry potential. Same with overlords, I guess. But no, I don't
Yeah,
think it's perfect. I think you wanted something else,
like
like fortress.
yeah, I think Fortress Mustang or like Hacker Mustang are like your two options if
Hmm.
Arbiter really does like commit to Tarantula. Um, I think Scorpion is just not a winning matchup in the long run, especially like Spider Mine's just like it wastes so many of the shots, and Scorpion is really, really vulnerable to having its shots wasted because of the long reload.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Wow, we run it back. The Overlord makes a comeback. This is a regular one though.
Yeah, this is another fascinating choice because again, there's existing Mustangs on the board. So, but this time we have tarantulas to kill the Mustangs. So maybe this does make sense.
Yeah, I don't
I'm not
mind
sure
it. He
though.
hasn't teched it. It's just like there. Um,
That's true. He can sell.
like this could just be 400 damage, if anything, into a cell.
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting. Well, we definitely have a lot of tarantulas. I think Arbiter's going to be sticking to that unit for the rest of the game here.
Yeah, the range has been taken, so the commitment has now been shown.
Yeah, and he has so many of them. He's got the proper loadout for carrying with them. He's got the splash. He's got even the mech rage if they get huge levels or equipment.
Pretty nice beacon here from B-Man. Oh, the
Oh, doesn't
crawlers managed to
connect.
intercept.
Yeah, that's a bummer for him.
Also, these scorpions are some of the saddest I've ever seen.
Yeah, agreed.
One died instantly, and the other one was just shooting at crawlers the whole game. And yeah, sometimes that's just how it goes.
We have 3 tarantula levels that I'm seeing. That is powerful.
Yeah, one of them is the level 3.
Hmm. Might be getting some tarantula tempo. Getting out of control here. Maybe another tech comes
Yeah,
out.
this board looks like it has many problems for B-Man. Like, you don't have enough Mustangs. Your Mustangs are dying to the tarantulas, but your Scorpions are also not being useful, so a lot of problems to solve. Ends up going for Melter there. Sells out of the Scorpions.
So what would be the play here? Like you could multi-melt, is that what B-Man's going for?
Yeah, I mean, long term, I think you have to, because it's not a winning matchup. Like, Tarantula into Melter is a Tarantula favored
Yeah.
game because of
And like
the spider mines.
yeah, true. What about forts? Would you think that would be too risky? Like
No, I think Fort was quite nice, but
mm, I'd be scared of the levels a little bit.
yeah, it's a rough position. Like, the Scorpions just kind of. Maybe, I think you should have sold out of one Scorpion already and
Yeah.
maybe tried to build last turn. But let's see how much this Melter can do. If it locks on, it might be able to regain some tempo.
Hmm.
Like, that Tarantula needs to die. That level 3, now with Mech Rage, by the way, as the second tech.
Yeah,
Um, that is a carry unit, if ever I've seen one.
for sure. I mean, we have a spider here with 17 movements per second, more than a crawler.
And it also shoots every zero point 0.4 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
it hits fast and it hits hard.
Yeah, that melter will get deleted unless it locks on, which it does.
Oh,
It
okay.
does. Huge.
B-Man should be really happy with that. So that's a big threat gone right off the bat. Left side still looked like a disaster, though.
Yeah, Arbiter's probably got the round, but a lot of fortunate things happened here for B-Man. A lot of
And
mitigation here.
Melter definitely justifying its cost.
Yeah, it did really well, and like he's got potential of multi-melter. He even has a laser sight he could sell to like make a new melter with laser, but I think he'll keep it on the Mustang.
Yeah, the only concern I have with multi-melt is you can just play normal Melter as Arbiter with your spiders.
True, true.
Especially with 4.1k, like that's kind of usually the issue with multi-melt when you're behind. If your opponent has a lot of hit points, they can just go for Melter themselves.
Yeah, another laser and another steel ball prod, or another prod in general, I should say. Pretty interesting equipments here. Storm
Oh,
though picked up, trying to close it out.
Arbiter, yeah, trying to just close it out.
There's potential, right? You got a bubble as B-Man for sure. Your Mustang is extremely valuable. Probably on both sides. Well, maybe you just bubble right, not left. And you could missile all the crawlers as B-Man if you want. Or, sorry, all the Fangs.
Yeah, that's expensive though.
Yeah,
I feel like at that point you almost want to just take the storm, but
could be.
well, let's see. Spider Mines, third tech here already on round 6.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty strong. If they do connect on the balls or the melter, that's really good DPS. They also have good tower pressure sometimes, so
Yeah, massive all in from Arbiter.
yeah.
Lone, temp range, temp speed.
Yep. Looks pretty good. Would you have done HE or do you like the spider mine here?
Mm, no, I like Spider-Mine. I think it's not worth diminishing your damage. Like, I don't think he has any trouble chaff clearing. Like, there isn't that much chaff on the board, so Mech Rage should be just fine. And look at this spider go. I feel like the animation can barely keep up with how fast it is.
Yeah, really good DPS. He's
He's just
chewing through.
soloing a level 2 Melter, like...
And if all the spiders live, that's 1200. He's gonna die basically.
That's game.
Wow. B-Man getting knocked out here, unfortunately. In a close series
And,
between these two.
yeah, we're back to the fast games. We got around 11, but this is around
Yeah,
6.
just a classic Tarantula tempo game, right? Basically, I mean,
Yeah.
he just basically won from Tarantulas. There's like not even
And
up anti-air.
this is what I mean, like, these Mustangs, this is what ended up happening, right? Like, they got taken out early, Spiders just took the game, and
Yeah,
yeah, it just doesn't work out. Um, seems like the drops maybe weren't favorable for B-Man, was hoping for something different.
yeah,
And I think it got kind of tough there, but really well played by Arbiter.
yeah, I agree. Really cool stuff. It's crazy to me how much anti-air was on the final board. Literally just 5 fangs and they're all up the front. So now we got Arbiter against Apucci as our last best of 3 for tonight. That is a crazy series, I'm sure. Those two are such good players, and only one of them getting through, of course, is pretty sad. But it's also something to celebrate that one of them gets through because they're going to make the round of 8 so exciting.
Yeah, and well, at least we get to see either of them go out with a bang and put on their best performance here. I've enjoyed the game so far, but I'm very happy that we get potentially 3 more
For sure. I'm going to give a
and some
prediction
fight.
that they
All
might do
right, all
some
right.
standard versus standard.
That would be illegal.
It's such a good mind game. Like we've seen like back to back like crazy aggro games.
But
More
can you
aggro.
though? Like, if you just see Saber pick Saber, can you actually put it like near the towers? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Like what's good against Saber? Is it just Storm Starts and that's it? In like an aggro
yeah. Well,
versus
balls are good
sequence?
as well. Balls is a favorable matchup early on for balls, but
But then you got to aggro, I guess, right?
yeah. I mean, with balls, you can play standard. Like, I play standard balls all the time now. I like does
Yeah.
pretty well because I think it gets a little tough if you get the headbutt.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, some people like Sabers in standard, or at least they say it's playable. How do you feel
I
about
mean,
that?
yeah. I mean, Tungdil, right? I think like
Tungdil,
prime
yeah.
example.
He puts them on the
He played it
outsides.
very well. Yeah, he does. Like, it's an ultra wide like standard setup, but
Yeah.
I think he's a very scary player, and he pilots like that type of playstyle expertly. So I think he can get away with it. I have some trouble with it. I can't lie, but I'm also trying to avoid the saber mirrors. So
Yeah. That
yeah,
must be
I
difficult.
definitely think it's. I mean, I just don't pick the saber packs.
Yeah, there you go.
But
I'm
yeah, I'm
honestly the
trying to
same
learn
way.
how to counter the saber.
Yeah, I feel like balls are decent right now on aggro, so I just like usually pick that. Like if I think Fang
Yeah,
plus ball is in a good spot right now because it just has so much HP.
yeah. I mean,
So
we
like
saw
elite.
right 5.7k HP on
it's,
elite, or
it's so silly.
HP
You
for
can just
days.
greed.
Especially with a lot of the packs have been nerfed, that people like to pick. So a lot of like Stormcaller packs, Saber packs, that kind of thing, uh,
Yeah,
have less hit points. So the packs that didn't get touched and have like insane hit points are even more valuable, I think.
yeah. So if Apucci sees speed specialist and doesn't pick it, do you think we're allowed to shame him for that? Like, can you
Yeah,
put your?
fraud. Mm.
I think so.
People riot in the chats for sure.
Yeah, I would love to see it. Actually, I don't think we've seen it like in any mag ones, like maybe like one time, speed has really been underrepresented. Like everyone's picking Typhoon, especially in the previous patches.
Well, it's not available. Well, speed spec is, but I'd be surprised if he picks Marksman Mustang.
Yeah.
um, Farseer though doesn't look too bad,
Yeah, some
and
decent
I
choices. Three
does
marksmen
end up
though
picking
for
that.
Arbiter. Like you gotta pick the anti. Yeah, anything but the marks.
Whoa! What? Cost control arc storm.
A
I
little
was
surprising.
not
Yeah.
expecting that at all from a Pucci. Like there was a Rhino Saber spec in there, or like a Rhino
Yeah.
spec Saber pack in there.
Yeah, what are we supposed to make from that? Like,
I don't know.
what's the thought process? I don't
You've
think it's a bad
you've just
pack, but
mined like what have you done? How did you materialize this?
yeah, exactly.
That's disgusting.
I don't know, like, it's like I said though, they're gonna go standard. Like maybe he's just feeling like cost control is a good standard SPC. I'm gonna try out some like long range. I don't know, maybe Arclight Sandworm.
That is so surprising.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like, if you had to like look at all the matchups today and be like, what is going to be like the 11 round standard game? Wouldn't have been this one. But I guess you would have, because you predicted this.
I don't know, it just felt like a good mind game to like go standard.
Also, double Fang here in the back is kind of awkward, I think. Usually the problem you'll have if you don't have crawlers on round one is the Fangs are too slow to catch up, so your arcs and stormcallers tend to get locked.
I think it'll be okay. I think players go for this quite often and get away with it, but it does depend on the positions and stuff.
I think actually Apuchi could have done like no chaff and like double marksman, but
Yeah, you definitely can. I don't know if I like it though.
yeah, maybe you don't want to play marksman on cost control.
True. They probably don't even two-shot sledges, right? Or how does that work? Or no, they do.
No, they should.
Okay, okay. Well, let's see how these fangs do. They might be amazing.
Yeah, arcs do end up dying. One crawler that will die to the fangs. Well, Stormcallers are trading well, but I think they won't be able to deal with the sledgehammers. Those are already
Yeah,
hard to deal with when you're not cost control, and
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
too
Yeah,
many hit points.
sledges are like one of the best anti-stormcaller units, I feel, in the early game.
It's such an underrated unit, I think, and I
Yeah.
say that as a player who underrates sledges, but
Yeah, same.
it's capable of doing a lot. Like you talked about cast before, but like I
hmm
think some people buy them too much, and some people definitely don't buy them enough. And I'm in
Yep.
the second category, but they're really powerful.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's really tough to find the Goldilocks zone for that one, but when you do, they are such a powerful unit. So there was Wasp and there was Phoenix, and both players go for the Phoenix, not wanting to mess around. I suppose there's a Farseer coming out for Arbiter, so Apuchi definitely not wanting Wasp for that reason. So a
Well,
bit of an
we got
air
a bit of
battle.
a mirror. Yeah,
Yep, decent mirror. I mean, there's like a few subtle differences, but definitely things are not heating up yet. The first unit drop didn't really shake things up very much, sort of just finishing off their boards here. I think they may commit into a broader strategy unless they just want to wait for the unit reinforcements again.
yeah. I mean
Like,
that is a pretty common play. Just like wait for, the carries to show up.
for sure. But you could also just like unlock Worm, be the first one to the punch, sort of not make it possible for them to get it. So we'll see. We could see a lot of Farseers this game as well. Like we've seen Tungdil play a Farseer style pretty often where he like gets like 2 to 3, sometimes even more of them. But I it doesn't strike me as an Arbiter play pattern.
Well, there's an interesting approach from both players. I mean, they do go for the Phoenixes, but Arbiter goes for more chaff, and Apuchi here really valuing the Arclight deploys.
Yeah, I like that. They're kind of good into sledges. You want the experience on them. You know you're going to click Arclight range next turn. And it's decent tempo, so I think it'll be all right here. He may not get the round, though, of course. He's still sort of scaling dealing with these sledges.
Well, I think for now, Arbiter should come out ahead, as
Think
Fangs will
so.
annoy the Phoenixes for a bit too long.
Yeah. Yeah, small little win here. Nothing crazy.
Phoenix does get a level. I didn't see if they leveled for Apuchi, but I imagine they didn't, so that's a small difference there.
Yeah, Poochie's got 2 of them, so they're also, like, sharing experience a little bit. Quick orbital pickup here. That's gonna
Yeah,
be
it's a bit
good.
of an insta pick, right?
I guess so, yeah. It's extremely good when it comes back. I don't think it's, like, insane here. I don't know.
I mean,
Like,
it's just like kind of guaranteed to come back a second time, which is why it's so
yeah,
strong, I think.
yeah, I agree.
More Fangs. So no crawlers being purchased from Apuchi.
Yeah, I like that.
And very early
Whoa.
range.
That is a commit. Sound
That's
the
a
fortress
surprising
alarms.
commit. Yeah. Well, we haven't seen the unit drops just yet, but Fortress
Yeah,
is not something that can show up on round 4, so you're safe at least from that.
yeah. Such an arbitrary rule, like, we just have to memorize that. You know, it's funny, like, normally this would be the turn where Poochie would click Arclight range, like, he has so many of them, it's such good
Yeah.
tempo. But the air battle is so important, right? But the bombard might just ruin his plan. Might lose them.
I mean, he has one extra on the left, but I think it'd be surprising if the Phoenixes live in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, Arclight range has been picked up for Arbiter, though. But the Fangs have instantly died. If this Phoenix goes down as well, that's just a default
Oh,
win. And yeah, there it is. Deleted.
unreal.
Hey, this Phoenix is kind of playing the Matrix there. It's somehow still alive.
Yeah, no kidding.
How did it survive that? That's insane. Not that it matters. I mean, it kind of does. 200
A little
damage,
bit.
but
Yeah, maybe experience, but yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah, but players are still really healthy. I think this is shaking up to at least go to like round 8. I think the orbitals will come back this game.
Well, that's a big turn. That
Yeah,
equalizes the hit points.
decent damage for sure.
The thing that's even better there is both of them do get the spell, right? So the fact
Yeah.
Arbiter loses that badly on a turn like that doesn't feel good.
Do you think that Arbiter should buy a fortress right now?
Ooh, maybe. I mean, what's your other option?
Like
I
Farseer's
think,
chill or something? I don't know.
I mean, Farseer, I think, can hold maybe like the fort, pun non intended,
Yeah.
for now. But I don't think you want to try and match the Phoenixes.
My gosh, so many of them. Look at this.
Yeah, I feel like
What a
either
commit.
you just full commit to like Marksman now, or you go Fortress.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I guess you could go into marksman. I usually figure like round 4 when you're already behind 4 Phoenix deploys, you can't just like all of a sudden buy marksman. But you probably can, right?
I think you can.
Okay.
If you just like triple deploy Marksman plus range,
Mhm.
I think it's playable.
But he goes Phoenixes.
After, yeah, okay, so he just matches. It does have
Yeah.
the level advantage. Like that Phoenix can tank a shot from the level ones.
Yeah, it's an interesting position to analyze. Like Apuchi has more fangs, which I would consider possibly better. Like the crawlers just run into the arclights, which there is a lot of. And then there's more phoenixes as well. But there is the Farseer. I don't know how relevant that will be. We also have an oil coming down, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, maybe Stormcaller Fire play
Could be.
from Pucci coming out, or just slow. The thing is, I just hovered over both of these players' techs on the Phoenixes, and Pucci has good standard carry techs with the range, the shield, the elite, but
Yeah,
Arbiter just has range. There's no shield, there's no elite.
yeah.
Like,
That's
he
true.
has the tempo out this game. Now, that being said, he's doing a really good job. Those Phoenixes in the middle are just absolutely tearing through Apuchi's board.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing to point out though. Like with how many phoenixes are on the board in a mirror, having the right text could be pretty important. Would you think that energy shield or elite marksman is the bigger thing available here?
Uh, I mean, Energy Shield is such good value.
Yeah, it's cheap and so
It's
effective.
yeah, it's really cheap. It's great in the mirror, and then it also kind of helps against something like Forte A if it shows up.
That's true.
So I feel like that'll allow you to maybe scale deeper into the game, and then you can always click Elite, um,
hmm
if you feel the need.
Vulcan and Mustang kind of interesting options here. I guess like Wasp technically is a choice here, but with the Mustangs being threatened, not quite sure it would be the right thing to do.
Yeah, Arbiter certainly seems to think so. Goes for triple Mustang, instantly ranges them.
Apuchi
Apuchi
could
taking
light
a
the
bit more
oil.
time. He could. Yeah. The Vulcan is not really high value.
hmm
And it's don't know how well it synergizes with the rest of his board because he already ranged the arcs. But maybe you could just turn this into Vulcan Phoenix. Like
Yeah.
the arcs are still going to be useful, and having a Vulcan there doesn't hurt.
Yeah, no equipment has dropped to really make it juicy. There's no nano, there's no heavy armor, but you do give yourself the out in case it does pop up later.
I guess the only thing is, like, do you ever call the bluff? Oh my, okay.
He's trying, but he's gonna fail.
Yeah, that is surprising. Double Wasp.
There's the fire though. You called it. And there's four of them.
Yeah, so just okay, so he's just saying, look, if you take Stangs, I'm gonna burn your board,
But there's missile
and then that's it.
interceptor
Yeah,
on
that's
Arbiter. That's
yeah.
an ace up his sleeve. Like that could be really strong. We'll see though. It's
It's
not
it's
always
a very
working out.
common play in standard too.
Yeah, they buffed the
Like
hell out of it.
low-level Mustangs in the back with missile interceptor, I see it so often.
Oh, this fire, so
Oh, but
powerful.
it's not available this round, so
Yeah.
that's a big tempo turn. Well, the Wasps will die on the left. Somehow those Mustangs have found a little safe zone.
Yeah, Arbiter's doing better than I thought. He'll definitely lose the
That
round, but
that's marginal,
yeah,
considering like half of his board burned.
yeah, it's pretty marginal. He definitely
Not sure,
loses,
like
right? Is there a world he
yeah, I'm not sure
wins?
you're happy with that as a Pucci, because like the
Oh
Wasps
my
are kind of
god.
useless.
Oh,
Oh, he wins.
unreal. Through the fire. Quick cooldown picked up by Ipuchi. I actually didn't spot that until now. Interesting.
Yeah, so he will get access to the oil again next turn alongside the orbital.
Yeah. Nano
Quick skip
kits.
from Ipuchi. And then
Yep.
Nano.
And
Is he
range on the
going to
storm
buy Worm or
columns.
something? He
I'm not
is.
sure. Yeah, worms. And he makes it blue. Kind of a cool play,
I
right?
mean, well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, like that's such a like normal play. Like you see Nano in standard, and you're just like, you have to buy the level 2 worm. It's so
Yeah.
unkillable.
So why didn't Ipuchi do it?
I don't know.
He's bad? He's
I mean,
washed? Is that
I'm not sure. It's a tough call. Like he could have done it. He definitely could have done it.
Yeah.
But I guess he's just more focused on like the Stormcaller Phoenix type of comp. But this is scary. Like his
Yeah.
Phoenixes aren't really leveled, so, and their cost control.
Mhm.
So I don't see how he kills the Sandworm. Like I think he
Yeah.
needs legitimately all 8 Phoenixes on the Sandworm to kill it.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing heals a lot, almost like what is it, 5,000 per second or something like that? Or yeah. It's a lot. What's
Yeah.
even the play to kill that thing? Like, do you get into Melter or what?
I don't know. I like the
Acid
Ignite Fang
Crawler.
into it.
Oh, yeah. Could work.
But Arbiter does run like perfect tech here for this type of a game
Yeah.
because he has the burrow maintenance, and burrow maintenance is somewhat of a soft counter to Ignite.
Hmm. Well, the fire's looking good at the very least, but as you said, the worm just probably just gonna steal the round.
Yeah, I mean, no intercept just yet, so at the
Yeah.
very least, that's a saving grace, and maybe Apuchi here can keep some Phoenixes alive. Two of
If he
them
gets
did die.
tower right now,
Yeah, has
I,
to snipe the Phoenixes.
I think he might have
Oh,
it. Maybe,
the
maybe
worm
not.
is... Okay,
Okay, he's
one
got it.
Phoenix left alive.
Yeah, he's got it.
Purely, right?
Yeah, heals like 5,000
Watch
per
it,
second.
watch it kill the entire board, and then...
Yeah. Yeah, he's good,
Alright,
he's
it
good.
will end up going down.
Maybe we don't need melters. Maybe we can cope.
I mean, the problem is, if this fire gets intercepted, that round looks very different.
Exactly, yeah, it's so true. There's a lot of Stormcallers though. We have 6
Oh
Stormcallers.
my... Dude, how many
Uh-oh.
spells? Orbital onto
Uh-oh.
Storm onto Oil?
Oh
That's a
my
bit
god.
much.
I can't even. How many bubbles do you buy? Like, what the heck?
I don't know. How little air units are you going to have?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like,
mean, I, I don't know. I'm just not even sure how you handle this. You probably just like do
it's
like
just a handshake.
yeah. Maybe you do like 3 bubbles and just say like
We'll
that's
just,
good.
we'll reconvene next round.
Yeah. Yeah, just buy hounds, bro. Come on. What are you doing? Interesting flank here. I suppose that might kill the storms. Maybe a few fangs. Oh, there's 2, one on each side. Very nice play. Some bubbles coming up for Apuchi here. He still has
That's
1k.
that's expensive.
I like it though. I don't know. Like it's risky. Like
He's using all of his spells this turn.
yeah, his economy is pretty screwed thereafter. But oh, he goes Melter.
Like, if somehow, some way he loses shields here as well, which I
Hmm.
don't think he will. But if he does, like, that's a way for Arbiter to get back in. Okay, never mind. He shields as well.
I feel like it's a decent play to at least do like 2 to 3.
Yeah, I guess you do lose, like, your whole board otherwise.
Yeah, you can't really lose your storms. Like we've talked about how the storms were really important for killing the Mustangs and stuff.
Well, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it does look kind of bad here for Arbiter, but
It
he
looks
managed
so
to at
bad.
least, like, save 2 Phoenixes on the side. So that will
Yeah.
kill at least part of the board.
Yeah, that's kind of clutch.
Oh, Melter there. Good pickup.
Yeah, that really worked out. How much do we have on the field here? Maybe like
That's a
1700-ish.
lot. That's 2k easily.
Is it? I think it's a bit shy. Yeah.
Whoa.
Close though. Oh my god.
Well, Arbiter does have his orbital back off cooldown now. And he
Yeah.
gets reinforcements as well.
Chat pointed out that Arbiter floated 450, so he's got 2k in the bank here.
Oh, is this a factory play?
Well, he just timed out because he's Arbiter. Arbiter like always times out in high stress, like difficult games.
That could be the case as well. But
But yeah, he
I
couldn't
I
buy
know
it.
he likes the factory like gut shots type of play. So
For sure, for sure. Arbiter's, I mean, Apuchi's got a lot of HP though. 2500, like, might have to two-shot him, you know?
yeah,
Worm is gone. We're switching sides. Kind of a cool play. Scorpion on the board for Apuchi, level 4. I don't know if he's
we
going to
do get
sell
the
it.
intercept Mustangs and Fort AA
Yeah.
finally.
Yep. More storms coming out. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my days.
This is a crazy game. What the heck? We're building them pretty far forward. Ah, now we're just moving them. Okay. It's like a T formation for a second there. I was like, what?
Yeah, I saw as well. I was like, that's just BM if he puts it like that.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see if Arbiter can turn this around with his fort play, but I'm not feeling optimistic. There's the Phoenix tech.
Oh,
We're
elite.
online, baby.
Well, it might keep them at bay from the fortresses. There is like a threshold.
Yeah.
Yeah, 190 with the tire buff. The fortress AA has 170, but it
Hmm.
gets the tower buff as well, so it's
Yep.
185.
185. Yeah.
So
You would
level
have
3
preferred.
Phoenix does stay outside.
Yep. You would have preferred energy shield there, do you think? Or do you think he
On
wanted the damage
the
deal worms?
Phoenixes,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure that he maybe. I'm not sure if you expect Fortress AA necessarily there, but
yeah. So how did Arbiter crush so hard?
he had the orbital on the right side,
Oh,
and also he intercepted. Like Mustangs have intercept now.
yeah, I guess that's working out. I don't see, like, any fire on the right, so but that was, like, really crushing.
Yeah, that's a huge turnaround.
He low-key coulda
Like
died there.
suddenly, like both of them are just within one round of losing and or winning.
Yeah. This is a crazy game 1 of this series.
Improved firepower control system and missile strike.
Yeah, Missile Strike, I guess, is, like, a pretty safe pickup here.
Uchi trying to hit a Mustang.
Did Apuchi buy bubbles last turn? Because I think bubbles were, like, just really good. Whoa, War Factory. We're intercepting the fortress.
Okay.
Are they too far back, or is it fine?
I think it's fine. Oh, it goes range as well.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, the range is,
Fortresses
like...
of range.
Yeah, they do. Do you like this range pickup on the War Factory?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's fine. It'll allow them to kind of stay close to the Phoenixes,
Mhm. Yeah,
and
very
also stop them
interesting.
from like running forward into the enemy board because a lot of these units from Apuchi have a lot of range, so
Yeah.
I don't mind this too much.
Okay, we got Fang production on the fortresses. There is fire, hopefully, on the ground for Apuchi, so I'm not sure how that'll play out.
Yeah, I
There's a
guess
lot
the
of
idea
storms.
is yeah, there is, but if he manages to like get rid of some of them like last round, then
Yeah,
like a second rotation of Fang spawn could be very, very useful.
for sure.
I have no idea how to read this. I think for some reason, I don't know. I feel like the War Factories might just be the better board
Yeah,
here, but let's see. Missile
yeah,
Strike
let's
does
see.
land.
We still have the melter over there. That's kind of sad. Pretty useless. I think just not enough fire on
Yeah,
the
it's just,
right. But maybe the
emotional support melter.
factories. Oh, this is so crazy. Are we winning the left for Arbiter at least?
Oh,
Or
he
sorry.
shielded the fangs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually a huge play. That's making such a big difference. These fortresses are just,
Yep.
or
Yep.
the factories are just locked up.
Wow, Arbiter takes game 1.
Yeah,
I could not tell who was gonna win that.
convincingly so. Yeah, me neither, but it's not even close.
Like, he was on, like, extremely low HP and then pivoted into fortresses on, like, round 7. Like, that was extremely ballsy and it paid off.
Yep.
He sold the worm, right? Like, that was such a
Yeah, he
nice
did.
heads up play.
Yeah, I think it also kind of shows like I mean, I guess the Phoenixes did all right, but he did get into some trouble for trying to mirror there.
Yeah.
Um, but eventually like the Fortress pivot was yeah, the winning play. Well done.
Yep. Very exciting game. Maybe okay, my next prediction, they're gonna go back to aggro, either a
Both
headbutt
of
or
them?
one person. Either a headbutt or one of them.
Okay.
That's what I'm calling. The mind games are important, you know?
Mm. I mean,
These
that's
players are very familiar with each other.
yeah, that's true. Hmm. Yeah, I
That
wouldn't mind.
was
I wouldn't mind seeing another, but that was an entertaining game.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of interesting stuff. There was some small stuff too, like that double flank with crawlers, killing the storms on the edges was a really nice tactic. Because it actually was killing the storms, guys. Like, you pay a crawler to kill like some chaff plus killing a storm pack every single round. That's such value.
Yeah, it's very, very nice.
Do Mustang Missile Interceptor need to get nerfed? Are we just gonna go back and forth
Hmm.
on this
I
tech?
don't know. I don't like mind it all that much.
It's very efficient though.
I currently, yeah, it is, but I kind of like the the back and forth you have, especially with how strong Arclight is, and Arclight normally should feed off of Stangs. So like the whole like back and forth between like Stangs and standard versus arc lights and storms and that kind of thing, or like baiting out a Stang tech and then not really having to rely after all on the missiles. I think it's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting for sure. It's just like you don't want to eliminate like certain strategies just because certain strategies exist. It's like you don't want Phoenixes to be unplayable because Fortress Anti-Air exists, and I'm just scared that Mustangs are causing this.
Yeah, maybe. Um, I think for now storms are still like fine though.
You can
It
always
might
get
also
two of
have to
them.
do with like sentiment or like feeling of players. Like
Hmm.
a lot of players just I think just don't really enjoy playing into like this long range artillery fire like stormcaller spam type of game. So it's nice that they may have a tool to kind of prevent that, and then
Yeah, yeah, I like that thought.
stormcaller still can have like a support role. It still can
Hmm.
be carry in some scenarios, and it can get a lot of value. And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's a good perspective. It's just like there's so many units with missiles at this point. Like, why does Phantom Ray need to? Why can't it shoot like laser beams or something? It sounds very like sci-fi.
yeah,
Like, how many units have missiles at this point? It's crazy.
yeah. It is true. They could tone some of that down. Like for instance, intercepting phantom bullets, for instance, I don't think is necessary
Right?
like what you want. But
Farseer and Phantom are
um
like new units that got it.
yeah.
All right.
Well, anyway, another round and a quick Typhoon Specialist Spider Pack pickup for Apuchi.
Maybe a mirror if Arbiter takes supply. He did win with Tarantulas earlier really convincingly. And the
That
other
would be
packs are
something.
not inspiring. I mean, maybe Missile Spec. I don't know how he feels
I
about that
mean, Missile
SBC.
Spec is pretty. I mean, it's a good starting pack, right?
It
The
is.
SBC is kind of whatever. It did get an HP buff, but
Yep. It's like 300, I think. I think it's quite substantial. And in fact, we
let's
get
go for
it.
it.
Yeah. So we got Sabers against Tarantulas. Now that typically feels bad for the Tarantulas.
That's yeah. That should be round one winning for Arbiter almost anytime.
And then he gets the missiles, so potentially a lot of pain. But Arpucci does have 4,700 HP here. He's going to be feeling pretty comfortable, and we don't know how round one will go. He might be able to kill like one Saber here. It is looking to be aggro for Arbiter, so we are getting at least. Oh, the Marksman's
Yeah. So this
defense.
is like the awkward thing about this matchup because I think you'd ideally have Phoenixes because they again deal better with
Yeah,
sabers.
yeah.
But then are you comfortable just completely forfeiting round one?
Yeah, so tricky. The ideal thing would be like you get the arc light stuck on your tarantula, and then you have crawlers come in and just like bully the saber, but you just can't guarantee that, right? So a
Yeah,
lower
I mean,
variance
especially with this
play,
like yeah, this buddy system of like arc saber just kind of
yeah.
prevents that from ever happening.
As long as you put the arc light far back, like you can see arbiters just like putting it a little bit further back. High level players are very cognizant of this fact that arc lights, if they get stuck, are it's so painful.
Yep. Yeah, I think what I'm a little bit worried about here is that yeah, here you can see the saber lock-ons very early on.
Yep.
And then there's still like some chaff left on the right. So the marksmen are not going to do too much either. If they
Yeah.
can
Will
take
he
out
even
one
kill
saber
one?
though, that's nice.
Oh, he might not. He's not going
Oh,
to.
he will.
Okay.
Yeah, just about. But like this
Okay.
can get really tricky and you can kind of fall down a rabbit hole quick.
Yep,
If the
I
saber's
agree.
like level, like your marksmen are useless, and then you just are like, well, but I used the deployments on round one. Like, am I really gonna abandon them now? Oh,
Improved Wasp. Come on, come on,
improved
come on.
wasp. Yes, let's go,
Yes.
Ibuchi.
Arbiter
Now
also really like that card.
he has to also pass the tech test, but
True, true. And
I
there's also
respect the pick.
missiles, right? The missiles are an interesting part of this.
The missiles? Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. From yeah, the specialist.
Yeah, it's not going to matter up front here. Like we'll have to see. Like Arbiter could use one here, then he'll have one next round. And then it's a question of like, are you going to do jump drive? Are you going to beacon? Are you going to sell? Like, you don't want to sell your improved wasp because you paid money for the card. So I think there will be interesting dynamics here from the missile SBC. We'll have to see how it plays out. I guess we're just not going to buy any for now.
I mean, they're expensive.
Yeah, so maybe it works out perfectly where like the missiles will be on cooldown by the time they really come out.
Looks like Arbiter might just stagger the missiles and use one. He is in like a good spot, so he doesn't really need like the immediate tempo. Um, should be able to win the next couple rounds, just like getting rid of a bit of chaff and a marksman.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a good missile, honestly. Maybe you should have spread out ever so slightly more. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, that is something that happens to me as well. Like I just position my units like I always would, and then I hover my opponent's spec, and I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe should have positioned around this.
Yeah, I've heard some players be like, "Nah, you just gotta ignore the SBC and play normal. That's the secret." I'm like, I don't know about that. I think a little bit of respect to the SBC goes a long way.
Yeah. It's not too bad of a round, though. Another Tarantula got added, but Apucci here clearing the chaff from the looks of it and managing to kill a Saber as well.
Yeah, not bad. Pretty
This guy,
surprised with
though,
that.
yeah, will level.
So now at least one improved Wasp will come out, I think. And of course, Arbiter has no idea where it will go, so we can't missile SBC it. Ooh, Mustangs. That is so great for Arbiter. Snap pick. He picks that because he knows that Apucci has chosen the improved Wasp card.
That's a bit rude, man.
It is a bit rude, but the sledges are good as well. You can see he's doing the vertical, I just want to be a tank placement. Really good against the Mustangs, of course, not just because armor is a tech. Although I say that, he does not run armor, but they're still good against Mustangs.
Wait, what is he running? Oh, Link.
Link EMP.
Link no regen. Kind of spicy.
Oh, that missile once again.
Yeah, it's so annoying to play against sometimes.
Truly.
Just feel
Yeah.
like every turn you just gotta sacrifice like a chaff plus something.
There's
Apucci
the
still
Wasp.
goes for the wasp.
I
Hmm.
I don't know. Which I don't
Hmm.
know. It's such a good unit, but like Mustangs are out. And missile SBC. That's
I
like
mean,
two
look,
reasons not to do it.
if you were running HE here, like this is playable, but he doesn't have HE.
Yeah.
I guess he has spiders though. You might just like play them as like backline.
Yeah, this
Maybe
is
the spiders are chaffed here.
I'm pretty worried here for Pucci, I'm not gonna lie. His tournament life's on the line. Like Arbiter won the first game, and this is looking a little dicey.
Yeah, true.
We'll see though. If the Wasp get a level, he's gonna be so happy about it. It looks like it's just gonna run into the Mustang though.
I mean, that saber does give a good amount of experience, but who will get it is the question.
Come on, come on, come on. Oh, he
It
got the
will be the
level!
wasps.
Oh, oh,
That's
that's
quite
insane.
big.
That's all you need. You need
And
like one level on improved Wasp, and then you're chilling.
yeah, they get so much hit points. Like, it's not just like the 60%
Yeah,
attack. The 60% hit points makes it much harder for Mustangs to kill.
yeah, it's crazy. They have way more HP than Mustangs, for example. Efficient tech. Oh,
It's
the
kind of nice
Typhoon's
this
here.
early on.
So Typhoon shooting at a little bit of Mustangs and a little bit of the Arclight. HE picked up. Guess that makes sense. You're against potential Mustangs. I don't know. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe Apuchi's like really chilling. Like getting a Typhoon for free is great. I love what he's doing with the sledges. His Tarantula is a really good plan against the Mustangs. So really, it's a question of can he kill the tanky Saberteeth efficiently? And if he can, I think he's in a good spot.
And okay, we get Fortress. Is he going to get the AA bait out?
Wow. Kind of like that from Arbiter.
I don't
I
think
don't
he's going to click AA just yet.
know. He's got the Mustangs. He doesn't need to overreact, but I love getting it out. Like, it's just good against everything. It's good against the Typhoons. It's good against the Sledgehammers. It's good against the Tarantula. It's, of course, just a great carry in general. So getting it out so decisively and early to mitigate HP seems like a great plan.
Yeah, I think these wasps, what Apucci was trying to do, or is trying to do, is kind of bait out even more Mustang commitment. And then he kind of goes back to this matchup we've talked about where the Tarantulas really love fighting the Mustangs. So, like, if he can get a lot of commitments out, he might be able to kind of give his Tarantulas a bit of a boost.
Yeah, true.
Well, Typhoon is in a great spot.
Yeah,
Fan got
that's
positioned right
amazing.
there.
Now it's stuck, but it's like just clearing one chaff is already kind of all
Now, let's
right.
see. Level 2 Wasps. Improved Wasp.
Look at
Oh,
that DPS, insane
yeah, that's not bad
DPS.
at all.
Yeah,
Simply taking out the level 1 Fortress with ease, and meanwhile, the Trenches are having a great time.
look how much is
Spider's just
left.
taking over.
There's a lot of stuff left. That's like a good 1k damage at least. No wasp level. Oh no, we get a wasp level on the right. Oh, that's huge as well. Assuming he's not scared of investing more into them. I'm not really sure how he should navigate that. He has to be a little careful. But they looked very good last round.
Hmm.
Could be chop chop,
Second round.
honestly. Well, Arbiter wants to
Well,
chop chop. I kind of like that for Arbiter actually, but I kind of like it for Pucci as well.
I think as a 501, hard to skip.
Yeah. I don't know, like I feel like there's so much potential in taking a big leveled Rhino right now when it's such a headbutt and like it's the biggest fish in the sea. Like it will beat up that fortress and take its lunch money.
I mean, the Wasps are already doing that, though.
Yeah.
That's the Wasps' lunch money, man.
Speaking of the missile SPC, here it comes. That is nasty. Oh, and he level. Oh, he takes energy shield. Okay, okay. Wait, these rhinos are just gonna beat each other up. There's enhancements though for Arbiter here. Oh, snacks for Apucci, really cheap tech, and he has efficient tech research. So that costed how much? I don't even remember. Like 50. So that's
Yeah.
almost nothing.
It's 100 cost tech at base.
Okay. So yeah, he's gonna lose the rhino battle there. So possibly that'll be a big advantage for Arbiter this round. We'll have to see. Mitigating fortress levels
Also,
here is important, I think.
really deep flank there from Apucci.
Yeah.
Wait.
Wait, what happened? What?
They
All
just
right.
kept walking past one another. The speed spike diff.
Yeah, two ships passing each other in the night, I guess. Well, that's really good for a pooch.
That's insane.
Yeah. He was like in a really rough spot otherwise, I think. He's like barely winning despite really good debuff. Really miraculous there.
Yeah,
I
the
mean, these rounds are
Typhoon is
so
doing a
important.
lot of work.
Yep,
There's still
absolutely.
some Wasps left alive, though.
Yeah. Definitely got the round for Apucci here, just with the anti-air alone. Decent little damage as well.
Now, I want to know what's going to happen on the right side, because
Yeah.
how is this duel going to turn into a big brawl fight? Like, what units are
Hmm.
getting added? Who's joining the party?
Okay, a massive difference just occurred. So we have two efficient giant manufacturings picked up for Arbiter, so giants only
Oh
cost them
my.
300. But we have Amp Core picked up for Apucci, so now his Rhino is way bigger, and in fact, Arbiter sells that Rhino. So now there's no answer for this big Rhino with Amp Core. Like, there's
Hmm.
fortresses,
Well,
yes,
surely
but
he. Well, there's the answer.
I think it's gonna get chop-chopped. I mean, maybe not, but
Level 2 fortresses?
nah, you're right, you're right. There's two of them. Nah, you're right, you're right. It's dead.
I don't think it's.
It's got snacks, so, like, if it can chop
Yeah.
chop,
I mean, it has the same, like, color as a level 8 Rhino, but it's level 4. I think it dies.
I think you're right. But man, there's like potential, you know?
I mean, maybe with a crawler next to it.
Does he 10
Maybe.
speed? Oh, imagine a missile comes out, by the way, and slows down the Rhino. That would be such a good move.
Yeah. I mean, he has the money for it, so I wouldn't. Yeah,
Oh,
there it
there it
is.
is. Oh, that's so bad for Poochie here.
Yeah, no, that Rhino is.
That Rhino is so dead. That's so much
This is like such a
resources.
This is like classic Rhino on the line for one round. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you get your one round of value, and then after that, it's doomed.
Such a great move here from Arbiter.
Also, look at this sledge flank just trying to run away.
Woot Woot would double ban him for that one.
No temp speed for that though.
No. Oh, what a throw. Well, let's see if the Wasp get it done, because the ground is certainly not going to get it done, I think.
I mean, the thing is, they can tank a missile apiece
Yep.
just without the shield, and then they've got the shield on top of things, so
Yeah, exactly.
they're
Like,
holding
there's a
out quite
chance.
well.
For sure, and like once Sapucci sells the Rhino and admits that was a mistake and tries another angle, like he's still in it. Arbiter does not have a lot of HP. Fortresses are not leveling a lot. One of the level 1s got a level, but the level 2s are remaining at level 2.
They're
And it looks
farming
like,
quick though. All of that experience from the Wasp is getting fed into the fortresses.
yeah, true.
Right, you just gotta... Okay, there we go.
Yep,
I'm not sure what
700.
that flank is supposed to do though. Like those two deployments up top, like they're not pulling
Yeah, there's
anything.
no alley-oop, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's just sort
usually
of
it's
there.
good if you're just delaying stuff, but it's just like a crawler.
Enhancement for Arbiter, does he take it?
Apucci with the orbital.
Makes sense. I mean, what's the play here for Apucci? Like, how are you killing these fortresses? Do you buy a level 2 War Factory?
Ooh, I guess, well,
I guess we do. And it's on the line. Oh my gosh.
I guess we do.
Is that safe? Does he have to put everything on the line? Does he know you're allowed to put it back a little bit?
I mean, on the round that you buy it, like who cares, right?
Well, like, you don't want to sell it and then, like, have to press the 100 cost button again, you know? But maybe that's just worth
Nah,
it.
I think you do.
Yeah, okay. Maybe
You
you're
just
right.
move it.
Yeah. Well, that'll definitely win against the fortresses. Lightning Storm was picked up, so he did not choose
Ooh,
the enhancement module. Yeah, Fang's production gets clicked. I'm
this
worried
would be
about.
expensive spell there
Yeah, but I
instead of
am
the
worried.
orbital.
I think Apucci's in trouble on the left, no?
Yeah, the left looks real bad. The thing is,
Yeah.
Storm chaff clears really well, so you basically just got to look at that board as if there's no chaff around the tarantulas, and then it's
Yeah.
like level 1 tarantulas versus fortresses.
Yep. I think
There's
Arbiter's
really no
playing
damage.
so well. Like, I love the way he's committing. He's adding a bunch of fangs in front now. He's got flank. He did a bubble against the spell. Like, he's on top of his game.
Yep. Now, this Overload War Factory, though,
Yeah, it's easy.
is kind of showing what it's capable of in front of three fortresses, even. Still half health,
Yeah, I guess
and that
Sapucci gets
looks
the round.
kind of better than I thought it would. Left side didn't even, like, do that poorly for Pucci.
Yeah, it killed like a fortress or two, so
And these
yeah,
shielded wasps, man. Oh my days.
they're so improved. It's crazy. Yeah,
They're
so
still
that's
top on damage.
decent damage there. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. How much did the War Factory do? 250,000.
I mean,
Okay.
it's, yeah, it's, it's catching up quite fast.
900 hit points. Monka S. Oh
Hmm.
gosh.
Raiden? Ionize?
Um. Yeah, who runs it? I don't know. Storms. Okay. Is that for fire against the Fang summoning stuff?
I guess?
Yeah.
Oh, it
Okay.
is.
And Arbiter has not picked yet. I mean, what do? You could do like Photon just for the value, but I doubt that's the play.
This is kind of the mind game, though, right? Like, is the War Factory gonna be there or not?
100%. There's so much value in that mind game. Oil picked up from Apucci, maybe gonna oil the right and sort of ditch it. Oh, but there's fire, so he's just gonna light the whole thing on fire.
Oh,
Ignite. So that was his War Factory answer. Are we gonna buy War Factory?
yeah. I mean, this is a bit dodgy though, because Photon was available as well, even if it was still on the board. Okay, we
Right.
do buy another factory,
It's on the
and
left,
there's
right?
no money
Yeah.
for Photon.
I like the position of it. I think he needs to loan and temp stuff. Arbiter's already done the temp stuff. Arbiter's playing very safe with that fortress he deployed to cover his flanks. Taking no chances here. He thinks he's in a good spot.
Yeah, Shield Fang here though, into the fire. That looks like a pretty good round, all things considered, for Poochie.
Yeah, I'm with you. But I just feel like these fortresses are scaling so well. We'll have to see. I mean, the wasps are also really, really good here.
I guess the one downside of the fortress on the left is that the fortresses on the right are just completely untouched. So
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
walk through the fire and then they'll spawn a new batch of fangs.
Oh, the timing is so bad here
Oh,
for Ibuchi.
debuff. You might not even need ignite.
Oh, maybe he's
Like
fine.
these are just the normal fortresses. Yeah, this look good for Arbiter. Yeah, the new fangs have spawned and there's no fire over there, so that'll do
Oh,
it.
wow. Okay. This game's heated up to its max now. Players are gonna have to win every round from here on out, I think.
Yeah, especially for Apucci, he really wants to close this out as soon as possible because,
There's just so many
like,
giants, right?
yeah, this matchup does not get better as time goes by. So, like, the more fortresses show up, the worse it gets, and
Yeah.
those Stormcallers can get intercepted as well. So, I think
Yep.
this is the crucial round if Apucci wants to stay in the tournament.
Are you buying anti-missile interceptors here as Arbiter? I would. I'd buy like 5, maybe 4 or 5. Oh, he just clicks the Mustang
It
button.
just goes on
Okay.
the Mustang, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's so worth it to intercept that.
I mean, nothing on the board really deals with it. The Tarantula can, but it's gonna die. Like,
Hmm.
it can't stay alive perpetually to deal with all the fangs that keep spawning. So
Yeah. Apucci taking his time here. He's got 1,200 to spend. Of course, what he's thinking about is how do I kill fortresses here? Is he buying an anti-air cheese here? Like, are wraiths about to come out, or am I crazy?
oh, but
Does
he
that
doesn't run the techs.
does he know that the fortresses have anti-air, or is that new? No, that's not new.
No, no, they had anti-air as their first deck.
So he just thinks that the what's this thing called? The degen aura is just worth it.
I mean, he
That's
runs
like
some crazy carry techs, by the way. But oh no, like it has a nano, so I guess it has field maintenance. But oh, the ignite on the fangs.
yep.
Oh, that is a unmitigated disaster. Holy moly.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, no, that's avert your eyes. That is some Fortress Fang violence right there. Holy.
Dang.
That is a monstrous final round from Arbiter and closes it out in two.
Yeah, crazy game. Well, congrats to Arbiter. It's a really difficult opponent to take down there. We're going to be getting an interview with him in a few moments here. And yeah, I'm excited to hear his thoughts on that. That game was crazy. Welcome, Arbiter.
Hello.
Congrats on your win there. That was a pretty intense series. I'm sure you're sweating after that one. Can you run me
Oh,
through your thoughts
thanks.
on that final game there?
Oh, yeah, that's the only game I can even remember. Okay,
Yeah.
well, he took Improved Wasp, and then I saw mass-produced, Giant or whatever it's called, Giant Spec, and then I was thinking, well, sorry, he took Improved Wasp. Did I say mass? Okay, my brain's fried. Okay, anyway, one of the things that can consistently beat Improved Wasp, no matter how late it goes, is Fortress spam, and I was thinking, if he decides to commit to the improved wasp, I always have that. And then he took sledges. I'm like, okay, let's just build some forts. And he just kept building things that died of forts, so I kept building forts. And that's about how a lot of games went, actually.
Yeah, a lot of fort
um,
today for sure.
like I
Yeah, did
lost a
you
fort in my first game too.
yeah, did you take a page out of Zillalank's book there? Because he won the EU weekend, I believe, with a similar fort setup with the Fang spawn fort. Or have you been running this for a while? Are these your preferred techs?
Yeah, these are the texts I've been running for a long time, but I definitely had it in mind. The only prep I did for the tournament is I got home like 15 minutes beforehand, downloaded all of Zillag's tourney replays, and I'm like, okay, this seems okay. Um, we can just have it as something to do. I mean, it's something that I would do occasionally. This is not the first time I've done what I sometimes call the Fortress comp. Um, but yeah, it does seem very difficult to deal with because you've got the Fang summoning, and the only real way to deal with Fang summoning is fire. But how do you get fire down in on most board states? Like if it goes late enough, or just wins. There's almost nothing you can do.
Yeah. What did you think of missile spec that game? Do you think it was good to have there against the improved wasp, or is it a good SVC in general? Do you think?
I was really surprised he took improved wasp because I was thinking, I'm just gonna missile that, right? But yeah,
Hmm.
missile spec got value every time. Also, the marksman round one I thought was a little surprising,
Yeah, me too.
because that kind of gives me a target, especially if he builds crawlers right next to it. Um, but yeah, missile spec's pretty hit or miss. Actually, my main thought was it gives me insurance against Stormcallers, which
Oh yeah.
Stormcallers have been doing pretty well against Sabretooth in this mini tournament today.
And how do you feel about the new patch? Because a lot of the games that we saw today were pretty quick. Do you attribute that to maybe some of the changes to the specialist hit points, or is it just kind of a today thing?
That definitely makes a difference, but I think a lot of it is people were mostly playing aggro matchups. Standard games tend to last longer than aggro games, and aggro games have a lot of potential to have huge one-round swings, especially if spells show up. Um, but it was cool to get that like 11 or 12 round aggro like headbutt game against B-Man. That was really fun. I definitely had a lot of things I could have done better that game, but I enjoyed it on the whole.
Yes. Spiders are sweet. So another game was the one where Poochie had like a million Stormcallers and he had fire on them. Um,
Oh,
that game was
yeah,
crazy. What was your thoughts on that game? I think you took Missile Interceptor on Mustangs, right? You had
I
some good
did.
flanks as well with the crawlers. Those crawler flanks were so good.
I I was thinking like as long as I don't die on a Poochie spell round, I win the game. I definitely should have done more to like make sure I don't die on that round because it was closer than I would have liked for sure. But right now, the state of Mustang Missile Interceptor is there's no way for the Storms to win. Even if he clicks Launcher Overload, the Storms still don't win, I think. I could be
Mhm.
wrong, but that's generally how I've seen it play out. So yeah, I think there was nothing he could do by the last round of that game effectively.
Yeah, you kind of barely made it over the finish line. That was a really close one. Do you have any more questions for Arbiter Rooster?
I think I'm happy to let him go. He's had a very long day, so
Yeah, we're all
yeah. I
pretty
just want to
tired.
congratulate him on the games he's played, and well, congrats on making it through out of the group stage. Certainly
Yeah.
something that not everybody can say, and it's been a stacked tournament and a stacked group today as well. So yeah, kudos.
Ah, thanks.
Thanks for the interview, Arbiter. All right. So we're now done with the group stage. What we're going to do now is next week on Saturday, we're going back to our normal time slot. So that'll be 1400 UTC. And what we're going to do is we're going to have the people who won their groups. So, for example, Sako made it out first. What's the guy's name who made it out first? Agrip Nokoma made it out first today. So they will be the ones who will be drafting who they want in their group among the people who got second. So I think that'll be done. I'm not positive about this, but I think that'll be done through the forum, and then at some point we'll announce that. And basically, the groups are going to get even crazier. I think we're going to do the same format. So these 5 matches where we have 3 best of 1s and then the 2 best of 3s as usual. But the groups are just going to be super intense because all the strongest players made it through. So they're going to be crazy.
Yeah,
So
some
yeah,
fireworks guaranteed.
yeah, absolutely. So with that, I'm going to wrap things up. It's been a long day for a lot of us, especially Rooster. So thanks for casting me through, Rooster, and have a good sleep.
Will do. Was enjoyable. Today
Yeah,
was sick. So yeah.
for sure. All right, cheers, everybody. See you next Saturday. Bye bye.